Welcome to Just a Minute. Hello, my name is Nicholas Parsons, and as the minute waltz fades away, once more it's my pleasure to welcome our many listeners in this country and throughout the world, but also to welcome to the programme this week 4 exciting, talented, diverse personalities who are going to play Just a Minute. And those 4 talents are seated on my right, that ever-popular, evergreen player of this game, Paul Merton, and seated beside him, that veteran and ever-resourceful player of this game, Clement Freud, and seated on my left, that engaging and sometimes extravagant player of this game, Graham Norton, and seated beside him, someone who's never played the game before, but a very highly valued comedian, that is Chris Addison. Please welcome all 4 of them. And as usual, I'm going to ask them to speak on the subject that I've given them, and they will try and do that without hesitation, repetition, or deviation. Beside me sits Charlotte Davis, who's going to help me with the score, blow a whistle when the 60 seconds have elapsed. And this particular edition of Just a Minute is coming from the delightful Mermaid Theatre at Puddle Dock, on the banks of the Thames in that great metropolis of London. And we have a great metropolitan audience in front of us, waiting, eager for us to start. Paul, start the show going with a subject here, the streets of London. 60 seconds as usual, starting now.
The streets of London have changed over the years. If we go back to the 19th century, 1886, you can see that somewhere like Drury Lane, for example, which is now a quite clean thoroughfare, was a bawdy place full of drunks and ne'er-do-wells and third-rate actors. What are you looking at me like that for, Nicholas? He was a wonderful individual in his time, Mr. Parsons. He used to walk down the streets.
Clement Freud challenge.
2 used tos.
Yes. Two
yes.
used to, yes.
Yes.
So, Clement, a correct challenge to you, a point for that. You take over the subject. You have 37 seconds available. The streets of London starting now.
I came here via New Cavendish Street, then Oxford Street, Regent Street.
Chris Addison challenge.
Repetition of street?
There were too many streets. Yeah, but you said Oxford Street and Regent Street. You didn't say streets.
You're being a bit pedantic.
No, we're not.
To be absolutely fair, I was being a bit pedantic.
No, you weren't. No, because we've had challenges on plurals and singulars before.
I'm thrilled to hear that Clement's doing the knowledge, though.
Yeah. Chris, welcome to the show, and you have a correct challenge. You get a point for that. You take over the subject of the streets of London. There are 30 seconds, and you start now.
The streets of London are not, in fact, paved with gold, but with chewing gum and paving...
Graham challenged.
Badly, though. Horrible. I sensed a hesitation, but now I feel cruel and horrible.
But in your defence, the word does often stand as a hesitation. And I didn't repeat the word
No, but you did catch your breath and pause, and Graham was a bit sharp there, but he came in with 24 seconds to go. A point to you, Graham. The streets of London with you starting now.
The streets of London seem to be full of groups of Italian students who think the word exit means...
Paul challenge.
No, you're thinking of Rome.
Paul, we give you a bonus point for that. Graham, you were interrupted, so you get a point for being interrupted. Keep the subject, the streets of London, 20 seconds starting now.
God protect me in central London from the amateur shopper. Saturday attracts them. I say they built shopping malls for you. Go there. This is not your place. I'm in a hurry. There's no time to look at the moving lights. I have money to spend, and quickly. I say that often too much.
Graham, if you speak to them like that, I'm sure they run a mile. I've never heard you so violently...
It's the new me.
It's the new me. Anyway, whoever in this game is speaking when the whistle goes gains an extra point. It was, of course, Graham Norton, so he's got a strong lead at the end of the round. Clement Freud, will you take the next round? And the subject is monkey business. Tell us something about monkey business in just a minute, if you can, starting now.
So the nun said to the taxi driver, you really do not have to feel guilty because actually I am called Trevor and I'm going to a fancy dress party. Nothing that has happened need concern.
Paul challenged.
I think I've missed the beginning of this. Is there not some sort of précis to take us up to date into what's going on?
Previously on
I
Just a
wanted
Minute.
to get in the last round, actually.
I don't know what you were leading to at all, because you hadn't got monkey business into it anywhere. There were no monkeys in the cab, and
We've got a nun
You
called
don't
Trevor.
call that monkey business.
well, it depends. I call it sexual harassment, actually.
But you're terribly
You
old-fashioned.
have a point.
Yes. Yeah, but I can't do anything with my points. You can. So,
Is that age?
We've noticed.
all right, give Clement a bonus point for what he said just then. But Paul, let's have your challenge.
Oh, well, it's deviation.
Deviation, yes. A point to you for that. A correct challenge. Monkey business. 44 seconds starting now.
There's a Marx Brothers film called Monkey Business that was released in the 1930s, and if you listen very carefully, in the opening sequence, the four brothers... I've said that before, haven't I?
Yes. Chris, you challenge.
Yeah, repetition of
Our
brothers.
brothers, yes. Well, you've gone in again, Chris. And you've got 35 seconds on this occasion. The subject's monkey business starting now.
Monkey Business is a section to be found towards the back of the Daily Simian, a newspaper designed, written by and for monkeys. Monkey Business itself is a larger part of that august journal than you might imagine, although it very rarely goes to printers around about 4 o'clock in the afternoon. They like a tea party, and those things can get out of hand, as you'll be doubtless aware. Monkeys, in fact, are rather good at business. Some of their particular endeavours in the economic...
Clement Freud challenge.
He said monkeys.
Yes, you did
Sure.
repeat monkeys.
Hoist by my own petard.
That's right. You got him because you got him on the plural and the word on the card is singular. Monkeys, he did repeat. And Clement, you've got him as 7 seconds to go on monkey business starting now.
It was one of my very favourite Marx Brothers film, Monkey Business.
Paul challenge.
Well, strictly speaking, it should be Marx Brothers films, not
That's
Marx
right.
Brothers. One of my favourite Marx
Marx
Brothers
Brothers
film.
film.
It's choosing the singular and the plural would really be the entirely accurate thing to do. So it's deviation in the English language, I'm afraid.
Deviation from English as we understand it. Yes, all right, Paul. That is correct. So we have to give it to you with 2 seconds to go. Oh, yes. Monkey business starting now.
Catherine Grant and Catherine Hepburn.
Oh,
Is that not a subject on the card?
no, you just threw it back to him, didn't you? Clement, you challenged first, and you got in with half a second to go on monkey business starting now.
Zeppo.
Oh, Paul, you challenged before.
Well, there was a bit of a hesitation.
Oh, rubbish. No, he had it when the whistle went, so Clement Freud has the bonus point for speaking as the whistle went. And what's the situation at the end of that round? Well, Clement has leapt forward. He's 1 ahead of Graham Norton, and 2 ahead of Paul Merton, and 3 ahead of Chris Addison. That's the situation. Chris Addison, will you take the next round? The subject is a false economy. You have 60 seconds as usual, starting now.
The economy of Bulgaria is a false economy on the grounds that that place does not, in fact, exist. Like...
Paul challenge.
I've just bought a house there. What have I done?
So what is your challenge when the rules of just a minute?
Deviation. I've just bought a house there. It exists as a place, Bulgaria.
Bulgaria does exist.
No, Bulgaria.
Oh, Bulgaria.
Yes.
I didn't get the V, I'm sorry. Did you?
Well, it was there, I promise you.
Have you not heard their sort of national anthem? Piss off. Bulgaria.
Bulgaria's deviation.
Yeah.
That sounds
How
like
is
the
it a
Wombles,
deviation?
doesn't it? The Wombles lived in Bulgaria, didn't they?
No, you're thinking of Uncle Bulgaria, who does have a beat. However, the film Chitty Chitty Bang Bang ends in Bulgaria.
And that was a dream sequence.
Yes. Right. Benefit of the doubt to you, Chris. You keep the subject, you get a point for that. And, I'd work on this, Chris, because the new boys on the block always get the sympathy of the audience. Right. 54 seconds, a false economy starting now.
The Bulgarian economy runs largely on selling imaginary houses to comedians.
Paul, you challenged.
I visited the property.
That was another dream sequence.
Call estate agents. You can't trust them, can you?
Right, a bonus point to Paul because they enjoy the interruption. But, Chris, you were interrupted, so you get a point for that. You keep the subject, a false economy. 48 seconds starting now.
As with many entirely imaginary countries, Bulgaria runs...
Clement challenge.
We've had Bulgaria
You've had
and
Bulgaria,
Bulgaria.
and it's not on the card.
Yeah, Chris.
It was a singular, though. I didn't say vulgarians.
No, you didn't. You said Bulgaria. I was listening.
Oh,
I have to. It's my job. Right.
He doesn't want to, you understand?
Clement, a point to you. 44 seconds available. A false economy starting now.
False economies tend to happen when chancellors move out of number 11 into 13 Downing Street. I can't tell you how false economies become. Not just is the economical situation of the country wholly down the drain and up the creek, but there's no one living next door to the Prime Minister in a house which he loves to have.
Chris challenged.
Deviation from anything relevant.
I think he established to begin with it's a false economy when the Chancellor moves into the other property.
Yeah. You're not that new anymore.
Clement, the benefit of the doubt to you. You have a point for an incorrect challenge. 18 seconds available. A false economy starting now.
There's no way that Romania or Bulgaria can be false economically because they are...
Paul challenge.
Slight hesitation.
Yes, definite hesitation.
I was speaking slowly.
Yes, in a hesitant fashion. Which was my first clue that I might press the buzzer.
So, Paul, a correct challenge. 11 seconds. You tell us something about a false economy starting now.
My first pair of false teeth were an absolute disaster. I shouldn't have gone to Bob Martin's. I should have gone to a dentist.
Graham challenge. So, Graham.
Well, there's sort of hesitation and repetition of should.
We don't. You only need one. I can't give you 2 points.
Sorry.
Should is...
I wasn't sure about the repetition bit, so I thought I'd shove in that hesitation.
Well, I can assure you the repetition was there. A repetition of should. A false economy is with you, Graham. 3 seconds only to go, starting now.
A false economy is when you think you're saving money, but in fact you've spent more than
So Graham Norton then speaking as the whistle weighing gain that extra point. He's now equal in the lead with Clement Freud. They're just ahead of Paul Merton and Chris Addison in that order. And Graham, we'd like you to take the next round. I mean, start the next round. The subject is, I can't believe this, when I was in prison. Who thinks of these subjects? When I was in prison, Graham, 60 seconds starting now.
When I was in prison, everyone had lovely nicknames. There was Billy the Bulldog, because he walked on all fours and growled. Lenny Scissorlegs, because his limbs were sharp and cut.
Chris challenged.
Repetition of because.
A correct challenge, Chris. You have the subject. You have 50 seconds. When I was in prison, starting now.
When I was in prison, I was struck by 2 things. One was a metal pail being used for slops by Big Danny, my cellmate, and the other was how angry everybody was. I think this was largely because they were all made to wear the same clothes, uniforms, if you will, and weren't even allowed to vote on them before they had to put them on.
You've challenged.
I'd just like to agree with whatever challenge is about to be made.
I think you're right. Yes, all right, Clement. Hesitation, collapse of start party, as they say. Clement, you have the subject. You have 32 seconds. When I was in prison, starting now.
If I were to say that I had been in prison, it would be a lie, and anybody could.
And
do
Clement,
this.
you've challenged.
I buzzed myself.
Yes. So what is your challenge?
For deviation from the truth.
Well, that is a correct challenge, so I suppose I have to give you a point for a correct challenge, and congratulate you on listening so well, and say please don't make a habit of this, because it could ruin the whole show. And so you keep the subject. You have 25 seconds, and you've still got When I Was in Prison, starting now.
I would have shared a cell.
Chris challenged.
Deviation from the rules.
No, he wasn't deviating from the rules. There's nothing in the rules that says you can't buzz yourself. Chris, I tell you what, you haven't played before. We won't charge any points on that. Clement, you
Oh,
must
I'd like a point.
It's a 2-for-1 offer.
What's that?
I was interrupted.
He was interrupted.
All right.
He was interrupted. I mean, if Clement gets a point when he interrupts himself, then I don't see why he shouldn't get a point when somebody else interrupts him.
You're quite right.
I am quite right.
You're quite right,
Yeah.
and I'm wrong to deny him.
Yeah.
Clement, you have another point. You have 24 seconds. When I was in prison, starting now.
When I was in prison...
Graham challenge.
I just wanted to have another point.
All right, a point to you, because they enjoyed the interruption.
Yes!
A point to Clement, because he was interrupted. There are still 23 seconds available. When I was in prison, not when I was in prison, but that's the subject.
Oh, yes, you want everybody to talk about when they were in prison, but no, we can't talk about you, can we? Thanks to the injunction.
Oh, my expenses are too sordid to go into, right? When I was in prison is the subject with you, Clement, and there are 23 seconds starting now.
A friend of mine who said to me when I was in prison complained bitterly about the uniform. The trousers didn't fit, the shirt was loose, and his cellmate was aggressive. To put it...
Paul, you challenge.
Bit of hesitation.
Yeah.
Definite hesitation. Almost a full stop.
Didn't want the subject.
No, he didn't want the subject. That's why
But
he
you've
interrupted
done-
himself. He was hoping the challenge would be given to somebody else.
You've done very well with it, though, Clement. You've really leapt forward on that one. But, Paul, you've got in with a correct challenge, and 10 seconds available. When I was in prison, starting now.
When I was in prison, it was part of my job working with the civil service. I used to visit Wandsworth Prison every week, and I would see prisoners and discuss with them opportunities in training for different jobs.
So when Clement Freud was in prison, it helped him to move forward rapidly, and he's now in a very definite lead ahead of Graham Norton. And Paul, we'd like you to take the next round. The subject is talking about prisons. It's rather apt. 12 Angry Men. Tell us something about that subject in this game, starting now.
It was a superb play, and it was directed by Sidney Lumet for the cinema. And those people who are fans of Henry Fonda will probably recognise it as one of his...
Graham Norton challenge.
For some reason, I thought I heard the word Henry twice, but it was Sydney. And somewhere in the back of my head, I was thinking he was talking about a play, but it's a film.
Yes. 52 seconds. 12 Angry Men with you, Paul, starting now.
At the Edinburgh Fringe Festival a few years ago, several comedians mounted their own version of 12 Angry Men. Steve Frost, Andy Smart, Dave Johns, they were some of the people that appeared in it. And it was a very good production because an ensemble cast under a good director will create a magnificent piece of theatre because we always find...
Clement challenge?
Because... Twice.
Yes, it was because.
Yes.
Right. Well, listen, Clement, you have 36 seconds, 12 Angry Men, starting now.
12 Angry Men is what Chelsea Football Club now has. Not just Mr. Mourinho, but people from Bulgaria, Romania, Liberia, the Ivory Coast and Togo make up Abramovich's 12 Angry Men. And goodness they are. They fight for the referee, they insult the man.
Paul challenge.
Well, deviation, they don't fight for the referee as if he's some prize to be decided after a bare-knuckle contest.
Is it like throwing the bouquet at the end of a wedding?
No, they don't fight for the referee, either defending him
I
or...
wasn't listening, I'm
No,
sorry.
no.
Well, you were in the majority there.
So, Paul, you have a correct challenge. You have 13 seconds. 12 Angry Men, starting now.
If you look at the third row in this theatre, you will see along the line 12 angry men. Their names are Barry, Dominic, Tom, William, George, Billy, Sebastian, and who can forget right at the very end, Mr. Peters, sitting right there.
Oh, Paul Merton then, speaking as a whistle-weighing, gained that extra point, and with the others in the round, he's moved forward. He's now equal with Clement Freud in the lead. They're just ahead of Graham Norton and Chris Addison in that order. And then, whether you noticed, Paul, when you were pointing to people in the audience and drawing out those male names, two women stood up. I don't know whether that's a bit of transvesticism or whether it was recent.
I do apologise to the ladies who Nicholas can't tell whether they're ladies or transvestites. Perhaps you'd like to consult your hairdressers when you get back, I don't know.
So we move on. And Graham, we'll begin with you. The subject is in the year 2525. It's rather repetitious, but would you talk on the subject starting now?
In the year 2525, the game of just a minute might be quite difficult to play because the actual date will contain a repetition. You might be challenged, and then Nicholas, or a brain attached to a computer, will have to say...
Paul challenge.
There's going to be a promotion. A brain attached to a computer.
So what is your challenge?
We're going digital.
Right, a bonus point to Paul because we enjoyed the challenge, but Graham was interrupted, so he keeps the subject and a point, of course, in the year 2525, Graham, starting now.
In the year 2525, there will be many mysteries, one of which will be, how is Kim Cattrall still 40? I don't know. She's been that age since 1962. I believe she watches in some sort of strange ether and pickle juice. I also
Paul,
feel...
challenge.
Hesitation.
I think there was a hesitation then, yes. So, Paul, you have the subject. You have another point. 25 seconds in the year 2525, starting now.
Well, it's unusual to be speaking about the song in the year 2525 with initially 25 seconds to go because, of course, that time is now running down. It was a very popular record in the 1960s, and I know...
Clement, challenge.
Repetition of 19.
19, see? In the 1960s. Ooh. So, Clement, you've got in with 13 seconds on in the year 2525, starting now.
The year 2525 was 14 years after the end of the Great War, and many people remember it with...
Chris, challenge.
That's not true. Deviation from history.
On the basis that the First World War was the Great War.
Yeah.
Right.
That's exactly why, Nicholas.
That's not the war Clement's talking about.
And it's not the war he's talking about, but in the history books, it's the First World War is often referred to as the Great War.
Yes, it is.
No,
Yeah.
the
It is.
greatest war. The
What
greatest war. The greatest,
No, you
latest
said the
war.
Great War.
The latest war.
But that's...
Well, without
You
play,
got,
I
are you
mean,
allowed to edit what you've just said?
Yeah.
Because the implications for the future of the game are horrendous.
Chris
It's
is
like Hansard. You can go,
Chris is
you
sitting
can go up
further
to the
away.
office and say, I wish I'd said that.
Chris is sitting further from you than I am, and he thought you said the Great War. So I think I have to give you the benefit of the doubt.
What goes around comes around.
Yes, exactly. And you have 5 seconds to tell us something about in the year 2525, starting now.
In the year 2525, I will be 554 years old, and if I am...
Clement, challenge.
He won't be.
What's your challenge?
Deviation from the truth.
Prove it!
Prove it.
I'm on a very strict regime, you know.
You can't be 500 years old in 5,000 years' time.
I don't think you
No,
can,
you're
but
5,000.
actually, as there's only half a second to go,
But then I got CSE grade 4 maths.
It's about 400 and something years.
listen, I made my decision. There's only
look.
half... Listen, shut up for a minute.
197
Chris,
plus 534. 4 plus 1 is 5.
Chris. If
Oh, no, you're right.
There's only half a second to go. Well, so we give you, first of all, a point for being interrupted.
Right.
Which is, you gained it legitimately.
Super.
A point for being interrupted, which you didn't deserve, but I'm going to give you another benefit of the doubt.
Wonderful.
And also another point for holding up the show. And, and half a second on in the year 2525, starting now.
In the year 25...
So, Chris Addison, speaking then as the whistle went and gained the other extra points because the chairman helped him move forward rapidly as we move into the final round. So we move on to Chris Addison. The subject, Chris, is body language. Tell us something about that in this game, starting now.
Body language like...
Oh, it's a tough game.
Now, can I cash in my benefit of the doubt?
You can have a bonus point for that last remark. Because it was very good, but if you kept going, I might have given it to you, but I can't.
Okay,
so
well,
there's
let's
a
give me
definite...
another go and see how I do.
Try again. Right. Graham, you challenge first. 58 seconds, body language starting now.
Body language is a difficult thing to talk about on the radio. For instance, you here can see me do that, but at home, nothing. I don't know if this counts as repetition, but there you go. I wonder... I'm still talking. Yes, I am.
No, you've been challenged.
Oh, did I get challenged?
You've been challenged. You didn't hear the buzzer because the audience were laughing so much at your gestures, which I can tell our listeners were quite obscene. So it's a good thing it's radio, isn't it? Right. Chris, what was your challenge?
Repetition of...
We're working in the realms of radio and words, not in gestures and mime.
He started it.
I know. I think you should get another bonus point for that, but I can't give it to you because it would be against the whole principle of sound radio, wouldn't it?
Yeah, we would like some bonus points as well.
Listeners, I must explain, they're all making this obscene gesture now, and they think obscene gestures should get bonus points. So I have no alternative but
listeners around the world won't be happy.
They'll be writing in saying, what was the gesture? I cannot reveal it. It will be the secret of just a minute.
Are we in the lead yet?
So what I shall do is give a bonus point to all of them except Graham Norton, who keeps... He gets a point.
My idea!
Graham, you get a point for being interrupted.
Loving it.
And 42 seconds with you, Graham.
Okay,
body language starting now.
Body language is a rare, exotic form of language that you see across a crowded room, and somebody walks towards you, and then I don't know.
Grinding to a halt, really.
So we call it hesitation. Paul, you have body language now, and you have 31 seconds starting now.
Back in the 1960s, Desmond Morris produced a book called The Naked Ape, and in that he postulated the theory that we are, of course, descended from the animals, but we have a great deal in common with them. If you see a pretty man walking through a bar, and he catches your eye, and there's a glint of light in his pupil, and you think to yourself, I don't care, I'm going into that car park, I'm going to look, and I'm saying to him, take me by the hand and lead me through the streets of London. I'll show you something that'll make you change your mind.
And the final situation is Chris Addison finished magnificently in fourth place. But only 1 point behind Clement Freud, only 2 points behind Graham Norton, and only 3 points behind Paul Merton, who we say, Paul, this week you are our winner.
Thank you.
Thank you. A very fair contest with equal contributions from all of them. So it remains to say thank you to these four delightful players of the game, Paul Merton, Chris Addison, Graham Norton and Clement Freud. I thank Charlotte Davis, who's helped me with the score and with her whistle. And also we are indebted to Toulusha Gilani, who has produced the show. And we're also indebted to Ian Messiter, who created the show. And we're also indebted to this audience here at the Mermaid Theatre and Puddle Dock in London, who've cheered us on our way. From our audience, from me, Nicholas Parsons and the panel, goodbye. Tune in the next time we play Just a Minute.
And you can hear more rule breaking on Just a Minute at the same time next week, when Nicholas Parsons is joined by Paul Merton, Clement Freud, Greg Proops and Chris Neal.
Welcome to Just a Minute. Thank you. Hello, my name is Nicholas Parsons, and as the minute waltz fades away, once more it's my pleasure to welcome the four exciting, individual, diverse personalities who this week are going to play Just a Minute. And they are, seated on my right, that outstanding and delightful comedian Paul Merton, and beside him we have one of the senior players of the game with his ironic approach to humour, that is Clement Freud, and seated on my left we have that effervescent young comedy performer Chris Neal, and beside him America's gift to comedy who's been come over here, Greg Proops. Would you please welcome all four of them? And as usual, I'm going to ask them to speak on a subject that I will give them, and they will try and do that without hesitation, repetition, or deviation. Beside me sits Charlotte Davis, who's going to help me with the score, and she will blow a whistle when the 60 seconds have elapsed. And this particular edition of Just a Minute is coming from the recently refurbished Theatre Royal in that wonderful cathedral city of Winchester. And we have in front of us a happy-looking Hampshire audience who are longing for the show to start. So let's get underway with Clement Freud. Clement, will you take this amazing subject to start a show with, the end of the world? Anyway, that's the subject, Clement. Will you speak on it for 60 seconds, if you can, starting now?
Many years ago, when I was a football correspondent for The Observer, there was a man with a sign which said, Clement Freud is here. And behind him, an old geezer had a similar placard which said, the end of the world is nigh. I've now said 3 times.
That was very sporting of you, Clement.
Yeah,
Yes, right. But Paul Merton, you pressed your buzzer first.
Repetition of parrot. Repetition of said.
Yes, you've got the subject. You have a point for a correct challenge. You take over the subject, and there are 41 seconds available. The end of the world starting now.
On the British Broadcasting Corporation World Service, I used to listen to that quite a lot, and sometimes you'd hear somebody say, that is the end of the world news. And if you hadn't heard the beginning of the bulletin, you'd imagine some nuclear holocaust had happened. But I realised then, of course, I was making a terrible mistake. When the moon looks down upon us and...
Chris, challenge.
Was there a repetition of when?
Yes, there was.
Was there?
Well, listen, Chris. Right. Ooh, sharp challenge. Yes.
I'd just like to say I don't really want the subject. I think it may upset Hampshire.
Well, you have a point for a correct challenge, which is always very good grist to the mill in this show, and you have 24 seconds if you want it. You have the end of the world, and you start now.
The end of the world of leather sail is always a sad day for me. Sometimes you have to wait as long as 48 hours before it comes round again. Those moments I pace in my flat thinking, when? Oh, I was going to say when twice.
So, Paul, you press first. Yes.
When twice?
Yes, when twice, and you've got in again with 9 seconds to go on the end of the world, and you start now.
King Henry VIII was making his way through Chelsea in London when he suddenly turned to one of his emissaries and said, what on earth is this place called? And...
And in this game, whoever is speaking when the whistle goes gains an extra point. On this occasion was Paul Merton, and at the end of that round he has a lead. He has 4 points, actually. Chris has 1, and we move forward to the second round. And Chris, Neil, would you take the second round? This subject is office politics. Tell us something about that subject in this game, starting now.
Office politics. Office politics. I would advise you, should you work in an office, never to get embroiled in office politics, disagreements with other people, that kind of thing. If Barbara, for instance, in accounts wants to borrow your stapler, let her have it. Don't make a fuss. And then if Tom, from the same department...
Paul, challenge.
You'll never see that stapler again. She's got 5 of my staplers, Barbara. 5 of them. What is she doing, Nicholas?
I don't know.
Has she borrowed anything of yours?
Well, I'm not in the same office.
Oh, really?
No. I'm in the higher office. I've got the... yes. They bring their staplers to me, actually.
Do you have the key to the executive washroom?
Absolutely, yes. Yes, indeed. And I get other people to come in there with me sometimes.
Yes, they're called nurses, aren't they?
Oh, you are wicked, yes. Right. I'll give you 1 bonus point for that, but Chris was interrupted, so you get a point because you were interrupted, and you keep the subject. 43 seconds on office politics, starting now.
Office politics. I suppose it depends on the politics of the person whose office you are in. For instance, should you...
Greg, challenge.
I think he said instance twice, a repetition of instance.
No, I don't think so.
I just wanted to be on the show before it was over.
He's come all the way from America to do this show. All the way from America.
From the West Coast, from San Francisco.
He's come all the way. He's got a direct link between Winchester and San Francisco.
There's still that land bridge.
Yeah.
So we give you a bonus point because we enjoyed the interruption and the fact that you haven't spoken yet, and you've come all the way from San Francisco. And but Chris, you were interrupted. You get another point. 37 seconds. Office politics starting now.
So the thing to do in Tony Blair's office, as for instance...
Clement challenged.
Repetition of for instance.
Oh, there was for instance.
Yeah,
yes.
I know. I was trying to do it for my friend here.
I know you were. He's sitting beside you. I saw you touch his hand, but he thought it was for... he thought it was for another reason.
I can multitask.
Clement, a correct challenge. You have the subject, and it's 33 seconds. Office politics starting now.
Somebody said to me the other day, what is the matter with John Prescott? And the reply is that he's office politics. For instance...
Chris, you challenge. Yes, you got in that long pause, Chris, and you have 22 seconds on office politics starting now.
In David Cameron's office, the business in hand is to bring a hoodie in for him to hug while he does that on a webcam, of course, web Cameron.
Clement challenged.
Repetition of course.
Of course. You did say of course before. So, Clement, well listened. You have the subject back. You have 14 seconds. Office politics starting now.
There are...
Paul challenge.
Oh, hesitation.
No. Really?
I
Yes.
thought we had an interval.
No, Clement has another point in 13 seconds. Office politics starting now.
I didn't know I had a point before office politics, but I'm extremely grateful to everyone. And perhaps next time bonuses are awarded, I could...
Chris, challenge.
Oh, well, deviation is slightly off the subject of office politics. It's about bonuses and...
Oh, well, bonuses are very important.
I
part of
suppose
office
that
politics,
is
aren't they?
true.
Yeah.
Well, don't you muddle me now by saying that. I thought you were going to have him for hesitation, which you could have had. But
Hesitation?
No, it's too late now. I don't think bonuses are too much. They have bonuses in offices. They get bonuses at the end of year. Christmas bonuses,
I
all
wanted
kinds of
Clement to
things.
have a bonus point. That was the
No, he hasn't got a bonus point.
Oh.
He's won a point because you interrupted him incorrectly. So he's still got the subject.
You too can play this at home for hours.
4 seconds, Clement. Office politics starting now.
It's still mine for 4 seconds.
Yes.
I'm grateful.
Paul, challenge.
Hesitation.
Yes, it was, because he didn't realise he still had the subject.
Yeah.
And he paused. So you've got him with 2 seconds to go, Paul, on office politics starting now.
Mrs. Warren won't let you into her office unless you own
So Paul was in speaking as the whistle when gained that extra point, and he's increased his lead ahead of Clement Freud and Chris Neal, who are in second place. Greg Proops is trailing a little, and it's his turn to begin. Greg, the subject here for you is the bee's knees. Can you tell us something on that subject starting now?
The cat's pajamas, the dog's thingies, the bee's knees. These are all expressions for a state in which people are at their most fabulous. It's the thing that everyone likes the most in a bee, their knees. Because their pollen sac is often full and hard to get to. So the knees are the thing that...
It's all very well. To dry yourself up with your own material, isn't it?
I love what I do.
All right. Anyway, Chris, you challenge
With a
first.
little sort of hesitation.
Yes, there
I
was.
was taking notes.
You were going to use the same material, were you? Yes, right. Chris, you've gone in with 39 seconds available. The bee's knees starting now.
As Greg was saying, the bee's knees are quite tricky things. Should you ever ask a bee what it wants for a present and it says socks, ask it. Oh, I've said ask twice.
Chris, I've said this
I know,
before when you come
every
in.
bloody
Don't tell
show.
them always that you've done it. They may not notice, or
We're
they
not
may
listening,
be generous.
so until you point it out... You're getting away with it until you
Right.
point it out.
Clement, you've gone in first, and there are 32 seconds. The bee's knees starting now.
In order of magnitude, bees' knees are not very large. Gnats' knickers are even smaller, but knits' knackers are the very tiniest of all things. I don't think I have much more to say.
So Paul came in on that last remark.
Well, having delivered his message to the world...
Yes, yes it
Hesitation.
Yes, it was a throbbing message. A hesitation, yes, well done. 16 seconds, Paul. Tell us something about the bee's knees starting now.
The bee is a remarkable creature. It can swim, fly, drive a car, and it...
Chris, challenge.
Deviation, they can't fly a car. Drive a car.
Well,
They
the
can
nice-
fly one, don't laugh, but they can't drive it.
No, they can't drive a car.
They cooperate together. The swarm grabs the steering wheel.
No, Chris, that's a legitimate challenge. 10 seconds, the bee's knees with you starting now.
My dad supports a football team called Brentford, and they're known as the Bees. God, they're rubbish. It's induced misery in my mother's life for about the last 40 years. They lose every single match.
So Chris Neal was then speaking as the whistle went, gained that extra point and others in the round. He has moved forward dramatically. He's now only 1 point behind our leader, Paul Merton. He's just ahead of Clement Freud and a few more ahead of Greg Proops. And Paul, we'd like you to take the next round. The subject, St. Swithin's Day. Tell us something about that in this game, starting now.
Well, St. Swithin's Day is sometime in July, and I believe the old belief is that if it rains on St. Swithin's Day, then it's going to be raining for quite some time.
Greg, challenge.
Rains?
Rain and raining.
Raining, that's right, rain and raining.
Oh,
Yes.
is that not a repetition?
No, it's 2 different words.
I'm listening as hard as I can.
Oh, give him a bonus point for that, because he hasn't played it very much before, otherwise
He's come all the way from America to play
he's
this
come
game.
all the way from San Francisco.
All the way from America to play this game.
Yes, all the way from San Francisco. Yes. You want another point, do you, Greg? Well, okay, give him another one.
Hooray for me.
Paul, you were interrupted. You get a point for that incorrect challenge. St. Swithin's Day, and there are 53 seconds starting now.
When you are aware of the water falling from the clouds, you realise that perhaps it did, in fact, precipitate on St. Swithin's Day, which then led to this long period of rainfall. And what an extraordinary myth and legend it is. If you look back to the ancient church parish records, you will see a picture of Nicholas Parsons at the age of 40. What an amazing thing it is. It's cut out in bas relief in stained glass windows.
Clement challenged.
Repetition of thing.
Yes, there were two things there.
Were there?
Yes, there were, yes.
And Nicholas Parsons as well.
Does Nicholas count as a thing?
Yeah.
3 things.
How disrespectful
Yeah,
you
it's
all
terrible,
are.
isn't it?
Terrible. Clement, you got in
You
with...
gave a few more bonus points. People would be so much kinder to you.
I disagree.
You disagree?
I don't think people
Well,
ever be...
Clement wants a bonus point, so give him a bonus point.
Oh, can we ask for them?
Yes. You won't necessarily get them, but if Clement said... Right, 29 seconds, Clement. St. Swithin's Day starting now.
I'm not actually terribly knowledgeable about St. Swithin, but...
Chris challenge.
Well, give it to someone who is.
So what's your challenge within the rules of just a minute?
Knowledge. There was a little hesitation.
There was only a little hesitation. I don't think enough to actually say you should have the subject.
Also, I've got nothing
we
to
will
say
give you a
about
bonus
it.
point.
Okay.
Because they did enjoy your
Yeah.
interruption.
Can I have one?
Yes,
Thank
you've got
you.
one, a
Oh,
bonus
lovely,
point.
Thank you.
Have you given it to him? Right.
Can you
fine.
give one to my friend Greg?
Oh, I give one to Greg as well. Why not? He's come all the way from San Francisco.
He's come away from San Francisco. He needs a bonus point.
Of course he does, right.
He's trying to earn the fare to get back.
But Clement, you have a point because it was an incorrect challenge. And St. Swithin's Day is still with you, and there are 24 seconds starting now.
St. Swithin's Day is actually my favourite subject, which I took for Mastermind when I did it. And University Challenge is another programme where you could have heard me speak very knowledgeably about St. Swithin, who was born on the 22nd of February, 248 AD, under the reign of the great Ethelred, who was not quite ready.
So Clement Freud gets the point for speaking as whistle went. He's equal with Chris Neal in second place. They're both 1 point behind Paul Merton, who's in the lead still, and Greg Proops is trailing them just a little. Chris, your turn to begin. The sound of music. Tell us something about that subject in this game, starting now.
The sound of music made by primary school children on recorders is not a pleasant one. I would advise you not to listen if you get the chance to do the negative of the thing, which you might be able to do. In fact, those young, tiny people I was referring to aren't good at the best of times. If I put it to you, is there a more unpleasant sound to the human ear than that of small children happily at play?
Paul Challenge.
Oh, we had children before.
Yes, small
I
children
said small
as well.
people, didn't I?
No, well, it still said small.
I'm just touched that Paul's listening now.
I've set an alarm clock.
Paul, another point to you in 37 seconds. The sound of music starting now.
I recently did a gig with the Bonzo Dog Doodah band at Shepherd's Bush Empire, and one of the tracks they asked me to participate in was called The Sound of Music. It was originally recorded with Vivian Stanchel and the rest of the boys back in 1967, and those people who are fans of that particular group will remember it with some affection. The Sound of Music itself as a film was made in 1965 by Robert Wise, who was an assistant editor on Citizen Kane, which just goes to show you that some film careers seem to go...
Clement Challenged.
Repetition of film.
Yes, you did mention the
Oh,
film.
did I?
before. Yes, you mentioned the film, Sound of Music, and some film
Yeah,
editors,
yeah,
right.
yeah.
So, Clement, you've got him with 10 seconds to go on the Sound of Music starting now.
I was asked to audition the other day for the lead part in The Sound of Music.
Oh, he was.
Chris, you challenge.
Deviation, I don't believe that's
No, he
true.
was. He starts January.
Well, I'm
Were
afraid...
you the Lonely Goat Herd?
His point was he was asked to audition.
He was asked,
He
yeah.
could have been asked
been
to audition. They may have thought he was a few years younger than he
Yeah.
actually looks.
A bonus point.
No bonus point,
Excellent,
but the benefit
Chairman.
of the
Excellent,
doubt. 6 seconds, Clement. The Sound of Music starting now.
I played Three Blind Mice on the recorder, which they enjoyed.
Chris challenge.
Well, this isn't about the sound of music.
It-
This is about
this
playing Three
music-
Blind Mice. on
This
the
was about the
recorder.
audition at the Sound
This
of
was the
Music.
audition. So, Clement, it was an incorrect challenge. You still have 3 seconds. The Sound of Music starting now.
London's burning is what wowed them, I think.
So, Clement Freud, with his Sound of Music and the audition he did and the recorder and everything else, has moved forward, and he's now in the lead, just ahead of Paul Merton and Greg Proops and Chris Neal in that order. And Greg, it's your turn to begin, and the subject now, a very English one for an American from San Francisco, the Battle of Hastings. It's a bit of a challenge for you, but tell us something about the Battle of Hastings starting now.
The Battle of Hastings was fought on October 12th, 1066, in an enormous
Chris?
Well, do we call that sort of hesitation?
I think we do, yes. Unable to get his...
Maybe you're not down with my jive lingo.
It was Middle English, wasn't it? Middle English, Chaucer.
It was Middle English at Chaucer, but it was also nonsensical.
Yeah, a lot of it is now.
Yes, it's all gone. Chris, a correct challenge. The Battle of Hastings, and 54 seconds, starting now.
The Battle of Hastings was due to take place at Hastings, but when William the Conqueror landed there, he went, "Kellocher, what a dump." And thankfully there was a little place inland called Battle, which was quite appropriately named, obviously, and so they did it there. And then someone got his eyes shot out. It was a nightmare, and they didn't even stop for tea. And the hills are alive.
Hesitation.
Yes, there was. Paul, you have 35 seconds to tell us something about the Battle of Hastings starting now.
In 1963, the various mods and rockers that lived in the East End of London decided to meet in Hastings for a showdown to see who was the toughest teenage gang in town. What a load of rubbish.
Yes. But you were interrupted before that by Greg Proops. What was your challenge, Greg?
A little hesitation, a little deviation.
There was a hesitation, yes.
Maybe a mixed bag of both.
21 seconds available. The Battle of Hastings starting now.
William the Conqueror was exceedingly brave when he got to England. When he was just back in France, he was known as William the Wimp.
Paul challenge.
Repetition of William.
Yes, William the Conqueror, William.
Yes, but it's completely pertinent to the battle.
I know, but it's not pertinent to just a minute.
Man, you're a stickler.
Well, I have to be, otherwise I get assassinated by these other players. Right, Paul...
Do you know I've got a contract out on you at the moment?
Who's written it, you?
Yes.
Yes, all right. He says it with a smile on his face.
Can you not move around so much? There's a sniper up in the, up in the balcony.
Oh, dear. 14 seconds, Paul. The Battle of Hastings starting now.
The Battle of Hastings began at around about 11:35 in the morning and lasted for several hours. All the noise and the people, you couldn't believe it. It was considered at the time to be the most brutal, bloodiest confrontation.
So Paul Merton was speaking as the whistle went, and with other points in the round, he's moved forward again. He's just ahead of Clement Freud, and then Greg Proops and Chris Neal in that order. And we're on to Clement Freud now to speak on the subject of making small talk. 60 seconds, Clement, starting now.
In a small Spanish community, such as we have just heard about, making small talk is the only thing you can do because no one exceeds 5'9" in height.
Paul challenged.
A slight hesitation.
There was a hesitation.
I stopped.
Yeah.
And that we interpret as hesitation. So 48 seconds available. Making small talk, Paul, starting now.
I've never been particularly good at small talk. I suppose it means you're at a party and you say, "Oh, those are very nice shoes," or "Where did you buy your hat?" That kind of thing. I've never been very good at it. I've said it again.
And Clement Freud challenged.
Never.
Never been very good at it. Back with you, Clement, 40 seconds. Making small talk, starting now.
What's become of the old piano your sister used to strangle is the sort of small talk...
So who challenged? Chris, you challenged first.
Well, is that deviation from small talk?
It's a bit outrageous, but made everybody laugh, yes?
Yeah,
all right, Clement, benefit of the doubt. Right, 32 seconds, making small talk, starting now.
Does your mother take in washing? Has she sold her mangle? All those are little things that people say to one another when there's nothing of import to transmit in conversation.
Chris challenged.
No, have you ever said, "Does your mother take in washing?" Isn't that...
You know, people do if they sort of dry up and suddenly you're at a party. You try it and suddenly say,
So basically,
Yes, you've got to take a...
You're
Is your mum
saying-
taking washing? Is that a demob suit you're wearing?
Yes, yes.
but isn't that sort of slightly euphemistic? So you're saying if you're at a party and you slightly run out of things to say, go, oh, is your mother still a prostitute?
No. She takes in washing, that's a different
Yeah,
thing.
that's right. No.
I'm not on my own with the euphemism, my dear. I know I'm not.
I mean, actually, I don't think you would say that, because it might be embarrassing, but it could be interpreted as small talk.
Yeah, no.
Yeah. So, Clement, another benefit of the doubt, and you have making small talk, 22 seconds starting now.
War has broken out, or the end of the world has come, would not be collectively small talk, but rather big conversation, things to stop the party, have someone run out for vodka on the rocks.
Paul Chance.
Well, we have moved on to big talk.
On to big talk. Deviation.
Deviation from small talk. Big
yes.
conversation, small talk.
8 seconds for you on making small talk starting now.
I can see your Operation Scar from here is something that somebody said to me at a party only the other day, and I realised...
Clement Challenge.
Repetition of day.
No.
He must have said day.
You're a great bluffer, Clement. So he gets another point for an incorrect challenge, and 3 seconds on making small talk starting now.
Ah, Mr. Peters, I remember when I had the allotment next to you. It's a sort of thing.
Well, we're moving into the last round. Paul Merton is still in the lead. He's a few points ahead of Clement Freud. Clement's 2 or 3 points ahead of Greg Proops. And Greg is a few points ahead of Chris Neal in that order. And Chris, your turn to begin. A secret I will never tell. Can you tell us something about that dramatic subject in this game starting now?
A secret I will never tell is kept deep in my heart. Sometimes it makes me laugh, occasionally weep. On other instances, I howl with joy as I recall it. I can't tell you what it is because it's a secret I will never tell.
Greg, you challenge.
He stopped before the good part.
So hesitation. But I think, Chris, as they gave that round of applause when you did fry up, we'll give you a little bonus point for that. But Greg, you have a point for a correct challenge, and you have 44 seconds, a secret I will never tell, starting now.
Chris's secret involves a pot of yogurt, or yogurt, as it said here. I hope that's not a repetition.
Chris, challenge.
Deviation, it doesn't include a pot of yogurt or yogurt.
That's not what you said backstage, Chris.
No, Chris, you got the benefit of the doubt, and you have the subject 37 seconds, a secret I will never tell, starting now.
How glad I am to have the subject of a secret I will never tell. There is so much to say on that particular...
Paul, challenge.
You're lying. He doesn't want the subject at all.
I know he doesn't.
He wants to get rid of it.
I know he doesn't, but he's still got it.
Yeah, deviation from the truth.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, you get a bonus point because they enjoyed your interruption.
Oh.
But Chris, you got a point. Claire.
Maybe that's the secret.
Chris, you got a point because you were interrupted. A secret I will never tell, and there are 30 seconds starting now.
A secret that I have never told until now is that Nicholas Parsons calls me Claire. It makes me feel warm inside, not in a radioactive way, you understand, but more emotionally, more...
Craig, Bruce challenge.
3 more.
There were too much of more, yes. Greg, you've got him in 19 seconds. A secret I will never tell, starting now.
Claire was telling me backstage about a day when he had... You know, you see it right in front of you, and then it just turns into a big white tunnel. There was my grandfather standing at the end of it. Greg, he said, don't hesitate. And then I heard a bell.
And Clement, you challenge first. Right, 15 seconds. A secret I will never tell, starting now.
The secret I will never tell is Paul Merton's secret, and I promised that I would tell everybody about it. He was 11 years old, and his underpants were missing. People looked everywhere, on the floor, on the ceiling.
Well, Clement was then speaking only just as the whistle went, and Chris Neal, who did so well to start with, but then kept telling everybody when he repeated himself, finished up only just, but a very marvellous, brilliant 4th place. And Greg Proops, who had a bit of a slow start, but then he burst forth after a time, and he finished up
Still mopping up.
Yeah, was still mopping up.
It's all that knobbling.
An excellent third place. Clement Freud, who gave his usual tremendous value, got a huge number of points, and was in second place. Didn't quite get enough to overtake Paul Merton, who was out in the lead. So we say, this week, Paul Merton, you are our winner. So, it only remains me to say thank you to these four engaging players of the game. Paul Merton, Greg Proops, Chris Neal and Clement Freud. I thank Charlotte Davis, who's helped me with the score, blown her whistle with such style every time the 60 seconds was up. And we thank our producer, Talusha Galani. We are indebted to Ian Messiter, who created this amazing and delightful game. And we are very grateful to this lovely audience here at the Theatre Royal in Winchester, who really cheered us on our way magnificently. From all of us here, tune in the next time we play Just a Minute. Goodbye. Welcome to Just a Minute. Hello, my name is Nicholas Parsons, and as the minute waltz fades away, once more it is my huge pleasure to welcome our many listeners in this country and throughout the world, but also to welcome to this program four exciting, individual, provocative, intelligent, witty, clever performers who are going to show their verbal dexterity, their humorous ingenuity, as they try and speak on the subject that I give them, and they try and do that without hesitation, repetition, or deviation. And those four bright individuals are seated on my right, Paul Merton and Clement Freud, and seated on my left, Kit Hesketh-Harvey and Maria McCurlin. Would you please welcome all four of them? And seated beside me is Charlotte Davis, who's going to write down the scores as they come along and also blow a whistle when the 60 seconds have elapsed. And this particular edition of Just a Minute is coming from the Assembly Hall Theatre here in that delightful town of Tunbridge Wells, in that gem in the garden of England, the county of Kent. And we're going to begin the show with Clement Freud. Clement, the subject I've got is pirates. Tell us something about pirates in just a minute, starting now.
Pi equals 3.142 and rates of things people hate paying. Pirates themselves are those unlicensed people who board ships that do not belong to them and attempt to take possession, possibly in order to sell the cargo. I have never met a pirate myself, and my meeting with people has been extensive. So they're not exactly commonplace pirates. I think that's about it.
So, Paul, you were the first to challenge.
An elegant conclusion.
Elegant conclusion. Hesitation.
Yes.
Right, Paul, you have 30 seconds. Tell us something about pirates, starting now.
It would be mistaken to think that pirates was something that happened a long time ago, because if you sail in the South Vietnamese seas, you are still liable, or indeed prone, to be attacked by pirates. They are devils. They come up behind the ship late at night. They've got cutlasses between their teeth, eye patches, and they've got little black and white spotted handkerchiefs on their head. The uniform hasn't changed for several years. And as they board the vessel, they come towards you, hissing terrible words under their breath like, ha-ha, which is really...
Clement challenge.
Aha! Yeah. Aha! Two separate words. Aha.
What's your challenge, Clement?
Repetition.
Of what?
Ha.
No. Paul maintains he said, aha. No, you think it was...
ha-ha.
You think it was definitely ha-ha, right. So repetition of ha, and Clement, you have a correct challenge. 5 seconds, starting now.
Penzance is a very popular place for pirates. They do love Cornwall.
So Clement, speaking as the whistle went, gained that extra point. He's now 1 ahead of Paul Merton, 2 ahead of Kit Hesketh-Harvey, and 3 ahead of Maria McCurlin. And Kit, we'd like you to take the next round. The subject is the circus. tell us something about the circus in just a minute, starting now.
Angela Carter wrote a wonderful book, Nights at the Circus, about a character called Feathers, a real old slapper of the vaudeville stage of the early 19th century, a harlot with an enormous heart, very like Nicholas Parsons. But for me, the circus that is the most exciting is the Circus Maximus in ancient Rome, built all those years ago of wood. It quite frequently burnt down or tumbled its spectators to an early death, thereby adding to the merriment. Who can forget Ben-Hur racing against Bill Him?
Paul, challenge.
I can forget.
But it's movies, and you like movies.
And so what's the challenge within the rules of just a minute?
Not as funny as I thought it might be.
No.
My challenge, I mean.
I know what you meant. But Paul, the interruption was so delightful, especially your second remark. We give you a bonus point for that. But Kit, you were interrupted, so you can carry on with the circus. 29 seconds available, starting now.
It was turned into stone by the Emperor Claudius, I think, and later Nero added seats. It carried right on until 1,000 years later, a whole millennium. Who can think that the dome...
Clement, challenge.
Two laters.
Two
Oh,
laters, yes.
Thank you for rescuing me.
So,
Thank you.
Clement, you've gone in on the circus, and you've gone on the subject of the circus, I should say, and there are 20 seconds available, starting now.
I used to think the circus was Piccadilly Circus until we moved to North London, when Oxford Circus had huge attractions to people coming past. You could arrange to get to the circus.
Paul, challenge.
I think there's a bit of hesitation.
There was a little hesitation there, yes.
Yeah,
I think
that was it, just like that.
Yeah.
I think the benefit of the doubt, a bonus point.
You'll get them eventually,
Somebody
Clement.
clapped. Woman in red, fourth row.
So,
on the aisle.
Paul, you're trying very hard. Give him his bonus point. He's tried so hard. Paul, you have the subject with the correct challenge, and you have 6 seconds on the circus, starting now.
I went to Bertram Mills Circus in 1963. My favourite act was the Tumbling Freuds. They were fantastic. Trapeze, one from the other.
Paul Merton was speaking as Whistle Wing, got that extra point. He's now equal in the lead with Kit Hesketh-Harvey. And Maria, will you take the next round? Oh, yes, Maria. Live fast, die young. 60 seconds on that subject, starting now.
Live fast, die young, and have a good-looking corpse was a line attributed to the actor James Dean, I believe. And it's a philosophy that I have chosen to live my life by, although I may have left the last two a little bit late. The alternative is to live slow and die old. You may think that's incredibly boring, but cast your eye...
Kit, challenge.
I think I've just preempted your joke. I was going to say deviation. Look at Clement and Nicholas. You couldn't call them boring. They're fantastic fun. Have you seen them doing the tassel dance?
I'd like to.
To be fair to Maria, she was only expressing an opinion, and I agree with you. I mean,
Yes.
Personally speaking, I disagree with the facts.
And you are a very good-looking corpse.
Oh, thank you. You are a rotten audience. Anyway, Maria, you have the benefit of the doubt. You keep the subject, and you have 40 seconds. Live fast, die young, starting now.
The performing person I was talking about earlier, I would doubt, did live fast, die young, and have a nice-looking cadaverish thing going on, because he died in a motorcycle by
Kit, challenge.
Deviation. No, James Dean died in a motor car crash.
That's
not
right,
a
you did. So
motorcycle
it's deviation,
crash.
right.
Deviation, yes.
Right,
within
I
the rules of
I
Japan,
thought
yes.
it was hesitation, but deviation is right as well. 27 seconds with you, Kit. Live fast, die young, starting now.
A lot of them in the 60s did that, didn't they? Jim Morrison and Janis Joplin, although she died on a ham sandwich, which is hardly living fast.
Paul, challenge.
Deviation, no, it was Mama Cass Elliot that died.
Oh, was it?
eating a ham sandwich.
There's nothing exclusive about dying eating a ham sandwich. Not confined to any
But that's
one
actually not
person.
strictly true. She didn't die choking on a ham sandwich. She actually had a heart attack.
But that's the story that Kit's thinking of. She wasn't.
I've obviously got it pitifully wrong.
So you're getting a little bit of...
She was a heroin overdose, was Janis Joplin.
Any more morbid thoughts while we're going here?
It's quite a morbid subject.
Yes, well, yes, it is, I suppose, right. But, Paul, you have the correct challenge. You have 20 seconds on Live Fast, Die Young, starting now.
I think it's the sort of thing that people say if they've lived fast and died young, but otherwise I don't think it should really detain the rest of us very much. I think the whole purpose of life...
Clement challenge.
To I think.
Yes, I think.
Yes.
I think twice.
Yeah.
Right. Clement, 12 seconds with you now. Live Fast, Die Young, starting now.
Live fast, die young. What attracts me is the fast bit. I have been trying not to eat anything for a very long time. It is extraordinarily difficult. Living, dying.
So, Clement Freud was then speaking as the whistle went, gained an extra point. He's now equal in the lead with Paul Merton. And, Paul, it's your turn to begin. So will you take the subject now of how to separate the men from the boys? 60 seconds. Clement challenge.
Hesitate.
I haven't said now yet.
Well, I meant you hesitated in saying now. You should have said now quite a long time ago.
But you can't get points at my expense.
I've noticed.
Oh, he's trying for his bonus points again. Give him another bonus point. Right, but Paul, the subject is how to separate the men from the boys. 60 seconds, starting now.
Deeper voices.
Get you challenged.
With a hesitation, wasn't it?
It was a hesitation.
That's all I have to say.
That's all you have to say. Right.
You have 58 seconds on how to separate the men from the boys, Kit, starting now.
Algipan is always helpful, I suppose, or deep heat. You could try a cattle prod, or failing anything else, I suppose, a power hose, which you can...
Clement challenge.
Two supposes.
You suppose.
Was I'm supposing? I'm
Yes,
sorry.
you're
It's just
supposing too
appalling
much.
thought, eh?
Clement, you have 50 seconds. Tell us something about how to separate the men from the boys, starting now.
Who would want to?
I know a lot of women who would like to. Paul, you challenge.
A hesitation.
There was a hesitation, yes. Paul, you have 47 seconds to take back how to separate the men from the boys, starting now.
Give them a medical.
Maria, you challenged.
Yes.
What was your challenge?
He just stopped again.
He hesitated, my darling, and there you have got the subject. And you have 46 seconds for you to tell us something now. A woman's going to tell us something about how to separate the men from the boys.
There is no difference between men and boys. The only clue is the price of their toys.
This is obviously a round of statements. Maria, because your comment got a round of applause and a whistle as well, actually, we'll give you a bonus point for that. But Paul, you...
Well, it's deviation, is it? It's ignoring the whole process of puberty.
So
You can't say there's no difference between the men and the boys. There's a big difference. Well,
So what is your challenge?
so I have to produce internet pictures? Well, it's deviation. She
You
said
have,
there's
no, you
difference.
have the subject. 39 seconds. How to separate the men from the boys, starting now. Kit challenge.
Oh dear, hesitation, but what's he leading us into?
I couldn't make another statement. That would be repetition.
Right, okay, fine. Kit, you have a correct challenge. 37 seconds. How to separate the men from the boys, starting now.
I suppose it's somebody who has the confidence just to sit back with total sang-froid, like Paul Merton, in silence. There is a man. We mere boys, like Maria and myself, minnow around in the shallows.
Maria challenge.
I'm not sure I want the good burgers of Tunbridge Wells to know my guilty secret.
No, as the listeners can't see you, I would agree that they would like to know that you don't look like a boy. So, Maria, you have the subject.
Oh, no.
25 seconds. How to separate the men from the boys, starting now.
I think the best way to separate men from the boys is to take a monkey wrench.
Paul challenge.
Hesitation.
There was a hesitation. So, Paul, it's back with you. I never had so many challenges in one round in my life. Right. 21 seconds on how to separate the men from the boys, starting now.
Perhaps it's all down to experience, the passage of life as a mere teenager. I remember very well I was a callow youth, wet behind the ears, had really no idea what this existence on the planet was all about. But now I am a fully grown man. I can look back on those innocent days and say to myself, well, you weren't perhaps a bad human...
Paul, Kit challenge.
Lots of perhapses there.
Yes, yes, perhaps.
I'm so sorry.
And Kit, you've got in with half a second to go.
Really? I'm so sorry.
You have won no friends with that
I'm
challenge.
sorry. I do beg your pardon.
But you have won the subject, and half a second, how to separate the men from the boys, starting now.
The testicles?
Maria, you challenge.
I was trying to save his career by swearing like that on national radio.
So I think in view of what he said, I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. So you have a quarter of a second on how to separate the men from the boys, starting now.
Super glue.
So, Maria, you got that extra point for speaking of the whistle win. It's a very even contest. Paul Merton and Kit Hesketh, they're in the lead, but only 1 point ahead of Clement and 2 ahead of Maria. And Kit, it's your turn. So would you take this subject now of my burning regret? 60 seconds starting now.
My burning regret is that my career as an arsonist has not been recognised properly for the achievement that it is. Hemel Hempstead, do you remember? I was driving past on the M25, casually flicked a cigarette out of the window, and whoosh, up went Brunsfield. There was John Prescott and his marvellous department with a whole new acreage to play with. The Saatchi collection. What use was all that tat?
Paul challenge.
Deviation.
Why?
Kit doesn't smoke cigarettes. He threw a cigarette out the window. He doesn't smoke.
I didn't say it was mine.
That's right.
Oh, no, so he didn't. No, he didn't. He didn't say it was his. He didn't say it was his, did he?
No, he didn't say it was his. And also, he may be a non-smoker, but he might have taken a fag for that occasion because he was establishing he was a bit of an arsonist.
He does give lifts to people who smoke.
And what do these people think of you taking their cigarettes, throwing them out the window, and then setting fire to Hemel Hempstead?
Right.
Why have we not heard about this in the papers?
Saved them from a terrible death.
Indeed.
But that wasn't your challenge, that he didn't set fire to Hemel Hempstead.
No.
It was that he doesn't smoke.
Yeah.
And he doesn't smoke,
No.
but he could have thrown a cigarette out of the window. And he didn't even say whether it was a lighted cigarette. Kit, you still have the subject. 38 seconds. My burning regret starting now.
Turner Prize-winning bilge. Much better to use it to warn the shivering pensioners of Deptford. I thought the elephant dung went up particularly well. Windsor Castle. I regret that they didn't give me the credit for that one. It was terribly inaffordable for Her Britannic Majesty to restore the great room. Now it's all shining and spanking new.
You're laughing because of the spanking, aren't you?
Her Britannic Majesty spanking people up and down the St. George's Hall. It's
I know,
lovely
but
notion, isn't it?
I think it might be another member of the family. Right, it's... So what is your challenge?
I have no... hesitation.
It was hesitation,
Yes.
right? 16 seconds, Maria. My burning regret starting now.
My burning regret is that when I went to see David Partridge... No, what's his name?
Paul challenge.
David Cassidy.
Yes! Yes.
So, Paul, your challenge?
Deviation, she was trying to think of David Cassidy, but said David Partridge instead.
Right.
Because she's confused by the fact that David Cassidy appeared in a show called The Partridge Family.
That's absolutely correct.
It was
Well
before
done.
your time.
Congratulations, yes. So, Paul, you have a correct challenge, and you have the subject, and 11 seconds starting now.
I remember seeing Jerry Lee Lewis play here in Tunbridge Wells, and when I refer to him, that great piano player, I think you can realise that, goodness gracious, great balls of fire. What a fantastic rock and roll number. All together now.
So, Paul Merton, with his great balls of fire, brought that subject to an end. And he was also speaking when the whistle went, gained an extra point. He's now 2 points ahead in the lead. And Maria, will you take the next round? The subject, teenage sweethearts. Tell us something about that subject in this game, starting now.
Teenage sweethearts are, from my point of view, speaking as a bitter and twisted, over-the-hill harridan, really... over the hill.
Deviation. Look at her. Just look at her.
Look at her. I won't allow that either.
Thank you so much.
And the audience endorse it. There's nothing Harridan about you, my darling. No. So, Kit, you have the subject because a correct challenge. 54 seconds. Teenage sweethearts. All right, I'll tell you what I'll do.
No, I don't want it.
Because she isn't a Harridan. You have a bonus point because it was a correct challenge.
Yes.
But I think Maria should carry on.
I think she should.
She was being modest.
Yes.
She was
The benefit
trying
of the doubt, I think.
No.
What? What did he say?
There's no doubt about it. She is not a Harridan. 54 seconds, Maria. Teenage sweethearts starting now.
Teenage sweethearts can only serve to remind us of our lost loves, our broken dreams, our shattered promises, and...
Clement Chance.
3 hours.
3
Yeah, 3 hours, yes.
One was spelled H-O-U-R-S.
It sounded that long, but it...
Oh, he has an acid tongue, doesn't he? Right. 46 seconds for you, Clement, on Teenage Sweethearts, starting now.
It is wholly wrong to consist of rumours that Nicholas Parsons and I were teenage sweethearts. We were fond of each other.
Maria Challenge.
I was just starting to feel a bit sick, that's all.
It made me sick as well.
That's repetition. 2 6.
Right. Maria, you felt a bit sick. You interrupted. The audience liked it. A bonus point to Maria, but Clement, it was an incorrect challenge. And you move forward. You're equal with Paul at this moment. You still have the subject. You have Teenage Sweethearts. You have 36 seconds, starting now.
She was the daughter of a duke, which was enough for me.
Paul challenged.
Well, that was hesitation.
That was hesitation, Paul. Yes, you're quite right. And you have 31 seconds now to tell us something about Teenage Sweethearts, starting now.
It's often said that our first loves are the ones that we remember mostly for the rest of our lives. And I suppose that might well be true in my case. I won't mention the particular person because she probably has no idea that my heart was lost to her back in the early 1970s. What a
Maria Challenge.
I do.
Oh, Maria, how charming. And I don't think it was you, so what we have to say is that you get a bonus point because the audience enjoyed your interruption, but Paul was interrupted, so he gets another point, and he has 16 seconds. Teenage Sweethearts, starting now.
Now, to come to think of it was Maria. Shepherd's Bush cost me £16, but what a wonderful night it was. We went to the fun fair, we ate candy floss, we went on the...
Ticket challenge.
Awful lot of wheeze there.
And
wents.
and
Wents as well. Yeah, we
were young, we were excited.
Got in with Teenage Sweetheart, 7 seconds available, starting now.
I'm terribly afraid that this Teenage Sweetheart I enjoyed here in Tunbridge Wells.
Paul
Age. Do we have Steam Age?
It was a Steam Age Sweetheart. Yes, it was a Steam Age Sweetheart. It was a long time ago, my teenage Sweetheart.
There's nothing wrong in a Steam Age Sweetheart, really, is there?
No.
The subject was actually Teenage Sweetheart. So what is your challenge?
Deviation, because he said Steam Age.
Yes, it's deviation from the subject. All right, Paul. There are 5 seconds on Teenage Sweetheart, starting now.
Isambard Kingdom Brunel was my Steam Age sweetheart. What a man!
Right.
Well, that's terrible. I mean, if I'm not allowed a Steam Age Sweetheart, how can he have one?
Well, exactly. So you've got it back.
Exactly.
And you've got the Team Age Sweetheart. You've got 1 second on Steam Age Sweetheart. Starting now.
She's 86 and she's here.
So Kit Heshigabe, another point for Speakers of Whistleway, and he's got other points in the round. He's moved forward. He's 2 points behind Paul Merton. He's 2 ahead of Clement Freud and 3 or 4 ahead of Maria McKernan. That's the situation as we go into the next round, which is Paul's turn to begin. Paul, the tricks of the trade. Tell us something about that subject in this game, starting now.
Well, if the trade in question is playing just a minute, I suppose there may be a few tricks. If you talk at such a speed, it feels like you're about to slow down to an absolute halt, but somehow keep going. That's one of the tricks of the trade because you've eaten up a certain amount of time. Another trick of the trade when playing this marvellous game is to use a singular of the word and then a plural just a moment later, and people think you've said the same thing twice. For example, exhibition and exhibitions. I know this is exceedingly dull, but the question is, these are the tricks of the trade. Another trick of the trade is the word Clement with your foot.
Clement has challenged.
Repetition of trick.
Yes, because the subject on the card is tricks of the trade.
Oh, well
and
done.
Listen, you said trick twice.
I don't believe you.
Well, it is true.
And I'm sure I did.
Right, Clement, you've got in with 24 seconds on tricks of the trade, starting now.
Tricks of the trade, in just a minute, are quite usefully applied to questioning the amount of time the chairman, Nicholas Parsons, who has always been in that position, I would like to tell you, gives you to speak for without hesitation, repetition, or deviation. The trick
Kit Challenge.
Sorry, I thought it was a hesitation, but it wasn't.
I think it was a hesitation.
Well, it was borderline, wasn't it? What
It was
did you think?
borderline, yes.
I was quite interested. I was mesmerised.
Yeah.
I don't know
I
what-
was.
He's
I
a very
wondered-
compelling speaker.
I wondered what was coming next.
So, Kit, you have the benefit of the doubt. You have 6 seconds. Tricks of the trade starting now.
The best trick of the trade in just a minute, of course, is to come in just before the...
Maria Challenge.
He actually did another steet heart. He said just a minute. No?
Yes,
No.
Kit, what do you want to say?
I don't think that was right. I'd like to challenge myself on repetition of just.
Yeah.
No, I was just joking on the first bit. I knew that it was repetition of just.
So, Maria, you have 2 seconds on tricks of the trade starting now.
The tricks of the trade.
Clement Challenge.
Repetition of osteopaths.
Yeah, I heard that.
No, that's fair enough.
Very good challenge, very good challenge. only a real seasoned player could pick that one up. Excellent challenge.
Which is
Very good.
another trick of the trade, isn't
Yes,
it?
exactly. Very
Right.
good challenge, wasn't it, Nicholas?
No, because he gets a bonus point. That's what he wants.
Oh, yeah.
Because the audience enjoyed it. Another trick that would be sufficiently outrageous or ridiculous, and the audience laugh, and so the chairman is generous and gives bonus points. But, Maria, you were interrupted, so you have 1 second on tricks of the trade starting now.
The tricks of...
Kit Challenge.
Hesitation.
No, average ridiculous. Another point, Maria. Half a second. Tricks of the trade starting now.
The tricks of my...
So, this is interesting.
Yes.
Because we're moving into the last round.
Yes.
And it is a terribly even contest. Because
Terribly.
Kit Hesketh-Harvey, Maria McCurlin and Clement Freud are equal in second place, only 1 point behind our leader Paul Merton. And Clement Freud, it's your turn to begin. Oh, what a lovely subject is this, to maybe bring the show to a close. Why I love each and every one of you. I should explain to our listeners that laugh is increased because everybody's sort of swiveled their chairs around a little and are now peering intently at Clement Freud as he starts on that subject with 60 seconds to go, starting now.
In this theatre, there are said to be 998 seats. And why I love each and every one of you is quite simply because I'm not going to be able to, at my age, get round to having any sort of realistic relationship with any of you. And I'm delighted about that because loving each and every one of you would be boring, tiresome, annoying, and some people haven't watched. I know that because I stood in a queue getting into this place in Royal Tunbridge Wells, which I'm so pleased. It was called by that august name in 1909, dating back to Queen Victoria. It's pretty unusual.
Kit Challenge.
It's a terrible deviation, isn't
Why?
it? Well, he's talking about the history of Tunbridge Wells, isn't he?
Yes, but it was talking about...
Because I love each and every one of
I think, to my mind, he established that he did love each and every one of the people in Tunbridge Wells, but he was finding it difficult. And, but he was keeping going, so Clement, benefit of the doubt. 13 seconds, why I love each and every one of you, starting now.
As for loving each and every one of the people on this panel, let me begin with Nicholas Parsons, go on to Paul Merton, and then explain how very fond of myself I am.
Clement Freud started with the subject and he kept going in spite of one interruption and finished with the subject. He went magnificently. He gained an extra point for speaking. The whistle went and he's just gone ahead of the other three who are equal in second place. But he now, we say, 1 point ahead of Paul Merton and 2 ahead of the others. You, Clement, are our winner this week. So it only remains for me to say thank you to to these four intrepid and delightful players of the game: Paul Merton, Kit Hesketh-Harvey, Maria McKerlin and Clement Freud. I thank Charlotte Davies, who's helped me keep the score. She's blown a whistle with elegance when the 60 seconds were up. We thank our producer, Talusha Gilani, and we're indebted to Ian Messiter, who created this delightful game. And we're very grateful to this lovely audience here in Tunbridge Wells, who've cheered us on our way magnificently. We hope you've enjoyed yourself. We've enjoyed ourselves. So from me, Nicholas Parsons, and the panel, goodbye. Tune in the next time we play Just a Minute. Welcome to Just a Minute. Thank you. Hello. My name is Nicholas Parsons, and as the minute waltz fades away once more, it's my pleasure to welcome our many listeners in this country and, of course, round the world, but also to welcome to the programme four talented exponents of this game who are going to show their spontaneous verbal ingenuity and dexterity as they try and speak on a subject that I give them, and do that without hesitation, repetition or deviation. And those four are seated on my right, Marcus Brigstock and Clement Freud, and seated on my left, Pauline McGlynn and Giles Brandreth. Will you please welcome all four of them? Beside me sits Charlotte Davies, who's going to help me with the score and blow the whistle when the 60 seconds have elapsed. And this particular edition of Just a Minute is coming from the lovely Mermaid Theatre in Puddle Dock, on the edge of the Thames, built by Bernard Miles many years ago, and now a thriving theatre, and we have a thriving, throbbing audience here. And Giles, we're with you to start, and the subject is White Elephant. 60 seconds beginning now.
White elephants are things that are really more trouble than they are worth. The origin comes from the albino white elephant of the Orient. The king of Thailand would give them to servants he didn't like because they were so expensive to maintain, because people worshipped them, that the aforementioned slaves would...
Clement challenge.
It's called Siam at the time.
I think, to be fair to Giles, he was referring to Thailand as we call it now, but as you said, it was at that time called Siam. We will give you a bonus point, Clement, because I thought it was an interesting and amusing interruption. And Giles, what are you arranging for?
I'm interested that you don't know that Thailand and Siam are completely different places. They're not the same thing at all. They're not the king of Siam was not the king of Thailand. Two different people. The king of Thailand went to visit the king of Siam on one occasion.
Sure
He never goes. And you can see the fear in his eyes. He was thinking, can I stop the program? I almost got away with it. Then he was thinking back, I saw the king and I. Surely Deborah Carr didn't dance with the king. Was it the king of Siam?
Was Yul Brynner?
Was Yul Brynner Thai? No, he was American, surely.
Was he the king of Siam?
Giles, in a minute I'll take the whole subject away from you. I'm always fair within this game. Clement gets a bonus point because they enjoy what he said.
Thailand is now called Rutland.
I'm very confused.
Well, I've been there, and the rutting is excellent.
Giles, you have the benefit of the doubt, and 44 seconds, and you begin now.
I used to wear colourful knitwear on television, and my jumpers are in a way white elephants for me, mixed with albatrosses, because these are a curse because of the cost of maintaining these in the wardrobe.
Marcus challenge.
I'm sorry to be a stickler, but repetition of these.
Yes, there was two these. Have these
and there was a factual inaccuracy as well. I think you said brightly coloured jumpers. That doesn't even come close.
I think you are right on the other one, but I wouldn't have given it to you if you challenged on that. But you have got him on these, and you have 32 seconds to tell us something about White Elephant, starting now.
The White Elephant is now a stall at many a fete where you can buy rubbish.
Pauline, you challenged.
Do you know, I was going to let him off with it, but there was a long
There was a wasn't long, there was a definite
I'm tempted to claim it's a linguistic foible.
No, Pauline, you've got in with 28 seconds. Tell us something about White Elephant, starting now.
My brother is a very good golfer, and he wins a lot of prizes for said game, and he always gives me whatever he wins. I have a whole ugly shelf full of white elephants.
Marcus challenge.
Repetition of wins.
Yes.
Repetition of what? I just heard
wins.
the you said at the beginning of that.
Yeah.
You said, Wins. Okay.
Yeah, it was a repetition of wins.
Wins. He wins. He was winning too much, yes. But they did enjoy what you said afterwards when you came back to him about the
Give us a point. Go on.
You get a bonus.
Go mad. Go mad.
But Marcus, you got a point for a correct challenge. You have white elephant starting now.
I once rode a white elephant while I was visiting Thailand, and it headed straight...
Pauline, challenge.
Deviant behaviour, so I'm going to say deviation. It's the romantic in me. I'm sorry.
I don't know whether he rode a white elephant or not. It's quite possible he did actually ride a white elephant in Thailand.
I hope he didn't. I think it's against the law. I really do.
It's very unlikely, so I tell you what we'll do. We'll give you the benefit of the doubt.
Oh,
and
right.
say he didn't
I'm sorry now, of course, because I have hardly anything to say about this.
Say that we don't believe he did ride a white elephant. So, Pauline, you have deviation and you have 14 seconds.
I've got a picture of it. I mean, not on me, because, you know, one doesn't tend to carry around that sort of thing. But
no, Pauline has the benefit of the doubt, definitely. Yeah. And she has 14 seconds. White elephant starting now.
I think everybody's house is full of white elephants, isn't it? You've given...
Marcus and...
I think that's very unlikely. You'd have to live in an enormous house. Certainly... the elephant that I rode, factually, once I'd covered it in talcum and made it a white elephant, wouldn't have fitted into anybody's house.
Yeah, but that's being factual. But we'll give you a bonus point because they enjoyed your interruption. But actually, white elephants are things that you don't want and you've still got in the house, and that's what you were referring to, all those things which are white elephants in objects.
Yes.
Absolutely, right. And you still have the subject, Pauline. 10 seconds, white elephant starting now.
I dread Christmas because I know that everyone is going to give me crap that I don't want, and I'll end up with white elephants.
Giles challenge.
No! Do you know, I was so busy scoring points that I forgot I'll save it for again.
I'm happy to say that I'm challenging on her behalf.
All right. If you're going to be generous
I'd
like
like
that.
to give her a little buzz, if I may.
Yeah. Well, there's only 4 seconds to go, so...
4 seconds is more than enough, she'll find.
So, Pauline, you have 4 seconds to enjoy yourself and engage with these 4 fellas up here. As you go on white elephant starting now.
White elephants are great.
Clement challenge.
I'd like her to have another point.
Right.
I could win this, you know, at the rate
I know you could, that's right. There are now 1.5 seconds on white elephant starting now.
I would like to buzz around on a white elephant with Giles Sandra.
Well, Pauline McGlynn was then speaking as the whistle away and gained that extra point, and she got a lot of other points in that round. And Marcus, it's your turn to begin, so will you take the subject of holiday snaps? Will you talk on it for 60 seconds if you can, starting now?
I often wish that I carried my holiday snaps around with me for no other reason than to verify many of the things that have taken place on adventures that I have had around the world. I think amongst the most dramatic holiday snaps I've ever had would be
The audience never applaud. What were you just about to say, Marcus?
I can't remember the length of the beforehand.
So, Giles, you challenge first. Yes. Hesitation, yes, we grant you that. You have a correct challenge, so you take a point for that, and you take over the subject, and there are 43 seconds available. Holiday snaps starting now.
Never mind holiday snaps. In our family, we go for full-blown holiday rows. That's what we like, mostly about the way the photographs are taken. My wife, whom I'm trying to persuade to start shaving her legs, it's part of our midlife crisis, is very keen on taking photographs of scenery, whereas I prefer...
Marcus, you challenge.
Repetition of photographs.
Yes. You mentioned photographs when you started.
Is your wife shaving her legs front and back? Because that is the sign of an affair. Can I just tell you?
Pauline, I don't think they have many hairs on the back of their legs.
Ladies?
Yes.
Look at, I'll show you later. Poor Nicholas.
I'll give Pauline a bonus point. We did enjoy what she said. Marcus, you had a correct challenge, and you have holiday snaps, and there are 27 seconds starting now.
I'm quite sure that the most exciting holiday snap I've ever had was when I broke my leg skiing. It was a clean snap right through the middle.
Giles, challenge.
Repetition of snap. The word on the card is snaps.
Snaps. He didn't say snap the first time, did he?
Yeah.
He did, actually.
The snap you had.
I think I did.
The snap.
Yes.
No.
That's exactly the right noise. Thank you.
So, Giles, you cleverly listened and cleverly got in with 19 seconds on holiday snaps starting now.
The sound I've just been hearing reminds me of the holiday snaps I took of erupting Vesuvius. The picture is not very good.
Marcus challenged.
Vesuvius hasn't erupted within your lifetime, so that's deviation.
Unless he's
so
got a
flattered
portrait.
by that.
Yes.
I'm going to go along with it. I don't mind.
Unless he's got a
clever.
portrait in the attic, I think Marcus is right.
No, he is right, darling. Yes, I know that. And
I just had to speak up just to remind you I'm here.
that's right.
I'm afraid this isn't correct. Vesuvius last erupted in 1953, and I know
Don't believe a word that man says. We know that he lies.
No, Marcus, I agree with you. You have 11 seconds on holiday snaps.
Is there a website where people can actually post these things into so that you can read about it later?
Yes, there's a picture of me riding a white elephant.
So, Marcus, you have 11 seconds on holiday snaps starting now.
I have an underwater photograph of myself standing on the bed of the sea holding a piece of bread which is being nibbled at by several fish. Unfortunately, they also took...
Clement challenge.
I just wanted to say hello.
That's the side I love of Clement.
He likes to say hello, you notice, in second 58.
Yeah.
That's when he chooses to say hello.
Anyway, the audience reaction was enough to justify me saying, Clement, you have a bonus point because they enjoyed what you said. But Marcus was interrupted, so he continues with holiday snaps with 3 seconds to go, starting now.
I nearly lost a finger to these vile and unpleasant...
In this game, whoever is speaking when the whistle goes gains an extra point. It was Marcus Brigstock who's got a strong lead at the end of that round. Pauline, will you take the next round? Here's a good subject for you. Last man standing. 60 seconds, starting now.
When I was a student, which was sometime before the tractor was invented, a big...
Giles challenge.
It certainly wasn't.
Oh, you old smoothie. My husband may listen to this and you're making horrid love to me. I'm going to start shaving my legs. I am.
Giles,
It's a deviation of the truth. The point is...
It's the deviation of the truth, but she was speaking colloquially, and sometimes
Well, so was I when I was talking about Vesuvius.
I know you are. So, Pauline, you have the benefit of the doubt, and you keep the subject last man standing, 55 seconds, starting now.
When I was younger, it was a badge of honour to be the last man standing. For years, I challenged for the title, and eventually, when I was the last man standing, I realised it was entirely sexist sort of a thing, because I could never be a man, no matter how I tried. And sometimes I whip out my manliness and compare it with the other boys, but I realise that it's just not the same as theirs. And in fact, my man will never stand. I'm so sorry about that. I've just even turned myself completely
darling,
green at the thought of that.
Pauline, you've been challenged.
Deviation and hesitation.
Which do you want?
Well, it depends what she's offering.
I want to know, within the rules of just a minute, what your challenge is. Because I may agree or may disagree.
My challenge actually was hesitation.
Yes, all right, you can have a hesitation. Giles, she did hesitate. You have 27 seconds. Tell us something about last man standing, starting now.
You will recall the famous last words of General Sedgwick at the Battle of Spotsylvania. They couldn't hit an elephant.
Marcus challenge.
Deviation, I don't recall them at all.
Yes,
you said I would, and I don't.
No, but this is the point of the story, that I was the last man standing. You were there, but you didn't recall them because you were no longer standing. I was coming to that.
But you said I'd recall them, and I simply don't. And as Clement rightly says, I wasn't there.
Right. So he was speaking metaphorically, which you're allowed to do in just a minute, and going on, but if you challenged him for the fact of the battle, I think you might have got closer to deviation. But you didn't, so Giles, you still have the subject, 22 seconds, last man standing, starting now.
On the 33 bus, travelling from Hammersmith to my home...
Clement challenged.
I want to challenge him on what you said he had done before, but I wasn't listening very carefully.
Give Clement another bonus point. Giles, you were interrupted. You have 20 seconds. Last man standing, starting now.
Also on the tube I find I'm the last man standing because all the other blokes have managed to be sitting there squatting with their legs wide apart looking grotesque, and extraordinary Australian people are there with backpacks knocking...
Clement challenge.
Repetition of people.
Yes, there were too many people.
Ah, well, I suppose so, yes. That is the problem with the underground, too many people.
Yes. Clement, you've got him with the correct challenge, and you've got 6 seconds. Last man standing, starting now.
The last man standing is a sort of distant relation of the first man sitting. A great friend of mine.
Clement Freud was then speaking as the whistle went. He's now moved forward. He's equal with Giles Brandreth in second place. They're 1 point behind Marcus Brigstock, who's in the lead, and they are 3 ahead of Pauline McGlynn. Clement, will you take the next round? The subject is 3 of a kind. 60 seconds starting now.
3 of a kind is a poker term, among others. If you...
Giles challenge.
I felt there was hesitation.
There
I was
was
really
hesitation.
interested to hear more,
Yeah.
but I just felt there was hesitation.
I'll tell you more.
Can we later?
Yeah.
I'd like that. I want to...
I do have to be fair with the rules of just a minute. I'm afraid it was a hesitation,
But
Clement.
nobody in the audience noticed.
No. Give Clement another bonus point for that, right. Charles, correct challenge, and 55 seconds starting now.
At school, I was in the same class as the Balls sisters. They were 3 of a kind. Ophelia was my favourite. She was something of a goer. It was that lovely lassie who introduced
Clement
me.
challenge.
She was.
She said she
Well,
was.
she was, so she was.
Clement, you got back in. 43 seconds. 3 of a kind, starting now.
A pair is the lowest combination, which in the game I mentioned previously counts for you. Then 2 pairs.
Marcus challenge.
Sorry, it was a wrong one. Pair and then 2 pairs.
Pairs, that's right, yes.
There is a slight deviation because high card. I'm sorry. I've been hit, but unbelievable. No one at home knows I have just been attacked by physically attacked by Sir Clement Freud.
So, Clement, it was an incorrect challenge anyway, so you are continuing with 34 seconds on 3 of a kind, starting now.
A straight followed by a full house would be other combinations of playing cards which you might well confuse the enemy or the people with whom you are playing. 3 of a kind could also refer to a family like triplets, one of which could be identical.
So, Marcus, you challenge and you're still trying to work out.
Yeah, I'm right. I've written the whole thing down, and I think it's deviation because obviously...
I would have him for hesitation if I were you.
Too late.
Shall I? No, deviation. How could only one of them be identical?
One of them could be identical to one of the other 2.
No. No, that 2 of them would have to be identical.
No.
Those are the rules of being identical.
There would be 2 identical ones. There would be 2 identical ones then, and one who wasn't identical.
I'm sorry, there could be 2 identical ones and what?
One who was not identical.
Yes,
but different.
But yes, I know it's different. But you can't call that 3rd one different just because they are. But Clement said one of them could be identical, and at least 2 of them would have to be identical.
Well, if one of them is identical, then one of the other ones must look exactly the same, which means there's 2.
Yes.
And there's one who's on the
It's
same.
my point exactly.
I know, and I disagree with it. Clement, I think I give you the benefit of the doubt. You have a correct challenge, yes?
Even Clement can't believe it.
I haven't.
One of them is identical to one of the other 2.
Yes, which means, if they're identical, that one of the others must also be identical. That's how identical works.
No, I'm going to put this to the audience. If you agree with Marcus, will you please cheer for him? And if you disagree with Marcus, will you all shout for me, and you all do it together now? Marcus, I actually think the audience agree with you. So... I disagree with the audience, but there we are. But I'm always magnanimous in these situations. And the audience has spoken, the final arbiters. So, Marcus, you have the subject, and 14 seconds starting now, 3 of a kind.
I once won 40 quid with a hand of 3 of a kind. Unfortunately, it was not whilst I was playing poker. It was actually on a bet over which of the...
Point challenge.
I think he said actually twice, did he?
Yes, you did.
Don't think I did.
Well, I'm prejudiced against you now, so I don't know.
Yes. Although, interestingly, if I had said it, I suppose the second actually would have been identical to the first one, or a unique second, actually. It's so hard to tell, isn't it?
No, you didn't say it. I was being naughty there. Right. So you have a point, and you have 6 seconds available starting now.
There are few things in life more pleasing than winning a large amount of money from your friends.
Clement, challenge.
He said amount of money
You had a money,
40
yes.
quid.
So...
He said...
That's not identical.
No.
That's an amount of money. I can't believe I have to explain this to you. That's an amount of money.
Clement has been very generous and said it was 40 quid and not money. So it's an incorrect challenge.
Yes, good.
Right. So
Thank you.
Isn't that right, Clement?
No.
Why not? What are you saying then?
I want a point.
Oh, give Clement a point. He's working so hard for it. And Marcus, you have a point for incorrect challenge and 2 seconds on 3 of a kind starting now.
When I won that cash...
Well, I'm glad that round is over.
So are we, because we've missed virtually all of the archers.
It's nearly identical every episode. It's all right.
I must say that it kept all that running. Yes, we could have gone into the archers, couldn't we? But I think people would have said that's identical. And Giles, will you take the next round? My greatest extravagance. Tell us something about that in just a minute, starting now.
My greatest extravagance is probably my chest wig, which comes complete with matching underarm toupees. I have a problem with my hair. When I was a member of Parliament, I decided to go grey overnight to show my loyalty to John Major. And later, when William Hague became the leader of my party, I began to go bald. I was the only...
Marcus, challenge.
Repetition of began.
Began. You say began twice.
Yeah.
Yes. Began to do this and began to do that. And 40 seconds with you, Marcus. My greatest extravagance starting now.
I suppose my greatest extravagance, if pushed, would be an island that I own in the middle of the Caribbean. It's only 5 or maybe 6 acres, but I enjoy it. It's somewhere to spend the odd weekend. It does cost me quite a lot of money, but then I was born extremely rich, and I'm very glad about that because it's meant that I can take holidays there and have pictures of me riding about on white elephants and feeding fish underwater, great loaves of bread, and occasionally my fingers as well. So it does take up a lot of my time, but as I'm happy to...
Pauline challenge.
I think he said a lot twice.
Yes, you did say.
And he said a lot too. I'd like to compliment him on that. But the actual phrase a lot.
It's right now, you don't just...
Well, you're not going to be asked to his island.
No.
No. So not.
And Pauline, you've cleverly got in with 3 seconds to go on my greatest extravagance starting now.
My greatest extravagance is razors to shave my legs front and back.
So Pauline McGlynn with the extra point for speaking as a whistle went and other points. We're moving into the final round, I'm afraid to say. Let me give you the situation as we do so, because it is all extraordinarily close. Pauline McGlynn, who's only just in 4th place. And she's only 1 point behind Clement Freud. And Clement is only 2 points behind Marcus Brigstock and Giles Brandreth, who actually won last time they were here to join together. So they're neck and neck as we go into the final round. And Marcus, it happens to be your turn to begin. So the subject we have here now is Dear Diary. Tell us something about that in this game, starting now.
Dear Diary, I would say that about 40 quid is quite dear for a diary, although I'd be...
Giles challenged. Why? You look nonplussed, Giles.
Yeah, well, I am, really. Yes. Well, there was...
Right, so an incorrect challenge. So
I was passing her a note, that was... and she couldn't...
Shall I read it out to them? Well, handwriting is...
It's simply 0777349.
An incorrect challenge, Marcus.
I'm just
55
gobbling
seconds on Dear Diary starting now.
I would be willing to pay up to £100 for a diary, provided every single page already had its entry written upon it from somebody far more interesting than myself. I'd settle for Sir Clement Freud, to be honest with you.
Clement challenge.
Me too.
But I think you're going to win on bonus points. So we give you a bonus point for that because the audience enjoyed your interruption. But Marcus was interrupted, so he keeps the subject. 43 seconds, Dear Diary, starting now.
I have never kept a diary, primarily because my sister always stole mine. Nonetheless, when I did have them, I was inclined to write little details.
Pauline challenge.
He said, I had never kept a diary and then said, however, when I did. Oh, that's deviation.
Yes, that's right. I never kept a diary, but when I did...
Yeah. He's a very confused young man. We know this.
I would call that a bit of Irish logic, actually. But
twisty. But
yeah,
good.
but you spotted it right away, Pauline. So, right, a correct challenge, and you have 35 seconds, Dear Diary, starting now.
It is a very dangerous thing to keep a diary because people cannot help themselves. They will read it, and your darkest secret. I often write mine when I'm very, very drunk, which is...
Oh, Giles.
Oh,
very,
yeah.
Very,
just because I am usually very, very...
24 seconds for you, Giles, on Dear Diary, starting now.
Dear Diary, tonight on Just a Minute I sat next to the delicious Pauline McLean, and there was an erotic charge in the room. She had introduced me earlier...
Marcus challenge.
I would just like to buzz in to say, will you two pack it in? I mean, really? Like, get a room or something.
Yeah, it's got nothing to do with Just a Minute, right. But Marcus, they enjoyed your interruption. You get a bonus point for that, but he didn't commit any of the rules of Just a Minute, so he keeps the subject with 17 seconds, Dear Diary, starting now.
Dear Diary, you need to know that the Swiss kiss to which I was introduced by the aforementioned maid is a French one through which you yodel. There is a slight aftertaste of Hermental, but the Irish sounds that she emitted as we were osculating like this was really quite extraordinary. In the room with us were several older men.
So Giles Brandreth was then speaking as the whistle went and gained that extra point. And let me give you the final situation. Pauline McGlynn, who did so well last time at the Mermaid, did even better this time. But she still finished in 4th place. I But no, let's be fair, she's lovely. She only came 1 point behind Clement Freud, who was in 2nd place, because, once he was in 2nd place, because Giles Brandreth and Marcus Brigstock both finished up equal winners.
Identical!
Equal winners! So... it only remains me to say thank you to these 4 delightful and exciting players of the game. Marcus Brigstock, Giles Brandreth, Pauline McGlynn and Clement Freud. I also thank Charlotte Davis, who's helped me with the score. She blew her whistle with great style and aplomb. And also we're grateful to our producer, to Lucia Galani, and also indebted to Ian Messiter, who created this amazing game. And we're very grateful to this lovely audience who've joined in on occasions, but have also supported us and have enjoyed themselves. So from me, Nicholas Parsons, and the team, and you, goodbye. Tune in the next time we play Just a Minute. Yay! Welcome to Just a Minute. Thank you. Hello, my name is Nicholas Parsons, and as the minute waltz fades away, once more it is my pleasure to welcome our many listeners in this country and throughout the world, but also to welcome to the program 4 exciting, talented, extroverts, gorgeous individuals who are going to show their verbal dexterity, their humorous ingenuity, and their sense of fun as they try and talk on the subject that I give them. And they try and do that without hesitation, repetition, or deviation. And those 4 are seated on my right, Paul Merton and Neil Malarkey, and seated on my left, Sue Perkins and Tony Hawkes. Will you please welcome all 4 of them? Seated Beside me is Charlotte Davies, who's going to help me keep the score. She'll blow a whistle when the 60 seconds have elapsed. And this particular edition of Just a Minute is coming from that beautiful Theatre Royal in that charming town of Brighton on the Sussex coast. And we have a lovely Sussex audience. As we begin the show with Tony Hawks. Tony, what an apt subject to begin the show with. Seaside postcards. Tell us something about that subject in this game, starting now.
As I walked along the seafront before this show and was very nearly blown into the water, I took a look at some of the gift shops along the way and viewed the postcards there. Little bits of wood sticking out of the sea. This was the West Pier. I enjoyed that very much. Disappointed, though, I was to find there was not any real sauciness as we used to get in the old-fashioned seaside postcards of many years ago. Girls perhaps leaning over telescopes looking out to sea with a naughty...
Sue challenged.
A repetition of sea.
Yes.
Yes, and you walked beside the sea at the beginning, and so you repeated sea. So that is a correct challenge, Sue. You get a point for a correct challenge. You take over the subject. 28 seconds available. Seaside postcards, and you start now.
Seaside postcards, kiss me quick hats and sticks of rock have come to me to represent holidays in Brighton. I was born in Croydon, which is as dissimilar from a beautiful seascape as anything could be. A Croydon mass, mini Manhattan.
Tony challenged.
Yes, a repetition of Croydon.
Croydon.
Well, you know, I've started to talk about it and I can't stop. And so many limited forums.
So good they named it twice.
So, Tony, a correct challenge and a point to you. You have seaside postcards. 14 seconds still available, starting now.
I wonder if the quality of seaside postcards is better in, say, Blackpool, Bournemouth, or perhaps Brighton is...
Sue challenged.
Repetition of perhaps.
No.
It's perhaps before in the previous...
And I very much doubt whether the postcards in Brighton and Bournemouth are very much in quality. I should imagine there's an overall company that's producing these things.
I don't know what you're talking about, Paul, but...
Dare you?
Well, I have to say anything to get a laugh, but it got a reaction anyway. So, repetition. A point to you. 7 seconds. Seaside postcards, starting now.
Ladies' breasts made to look like mice are my least favourite form of seaside postcards. We've all seen...
Paul challenged.
Oh, well, that's where we disagree.
So any challenge within the rules of just a minute? No. Well, we give... Because the audience enjoyed your interruption so much, we give you a bonus point for that. But Sue was interrupted, so she gets a point for that, and she keeps the subject, and you've only got 2 seconds available. Seaside postcards starting now.
Scantily clad women being groped and fondled by...
In this game, whoever is speaking when the whistle goes gains an extra point. On this occasion with Sue Perkins, so she has naturally a lead at the end of the round. And Neil Malarkey, we'd like you to take the next round, or you started. The subject is the best sandwich. Tell us something about that in this game, starting now.
For me, the best sandwich is hard to find, since I cannot eat bread. I have wheat issues. I must seek out other grains.
Poor challenge.
Well, there was a slight hesitation.
There was.
Just like that, wasn't it?
Yes, that's right.
Because I had a bit of wheat beforehand.
Yeah. You had some wheat, I think. Right, so there's... we call that hesitation. Paul, you have a point. You have the subject. 51 seconds. The best sandwich starting now.
I don't know whether it can be considered the best sandwich. There's a hotel in London that's certainly selling the world's most expensive sandwich. It consists of tabby...
Then you challenged.
Deviation.
Why?
It's the most expensive sandwich.
Yeah, but it still could be the best sandwich. It could be the most expensive.
I thought he made it clear that he didn't know whether it was the best sandwich.
I certainly didn't rule it out.
Exactly, Paul. You can debate the situation whether it's the best sandwich, and I think he has the benefit of the doubt. So you keep the subject, Paul. An incorrect challenge, a point, of course. 44 seconds still available. The best sandwich starting now.
The finest bread you can find, and just in the corner, nestling beside the butter, is a small cottage in Devon. That's what makes the sandwich so expensive. It's 667...
And Neil challenged.
You said expensive twice.
I did, yes.
And so, Neil, you have a correct
But
challenge.
I want to know more about the cottage in Devon.
Well, perhaps you shouldn't have buzzed me then. It's like, you know, he's getting hold of a puppy, put it in a sack, throw it in the Thames. Oh, I wanted to take that for a walk. Bit late now for that sort of thing, isn't it? Bit late now.
I don't think I shoved you in a sack and threw you in the river, did I? Is that how you feel?
That's what it feels like emotionally.
Can I rescind everything I've ever done?
No. Because what we do is not just for hurt feelings, but because he creates so much entertainment for the audience, we do give Bone. We do give Paul a bonus point. Not
Let's
bone.
give him a bone. What happened to my bone?
They threw it in the Thames.
I'm only doing this for the bones.
Well, I was going to say we give Bone a Paulus point, but but I'd rather say we give Paul a bonus point. But Neil gets a point for a correct challenge. He takes over the subject with 34 seconds on the best sandwich starting now.
The best sandwich contains a small cottage in Devon. Lovely mayonnaise, how I delight in it. My goodness me, that Devonian...
Paul challenge.
Well, a hesitation again.
I know he's...
Well, I've run out of breath. Yeah. I've had some wheat.
You're giving a sort of theatrical hammy performance. Yes, you're declaiming it all. It's tremendous fun. The audience love it. So, Paul, you have a correct challenge. 23 seconds, the best sandwich starting now.
A friend of mine at school declared for his money the best sandwich was one that his mother used to make, which was basically 2 pieces of sliced, then a bit of margarine and some sugar. And that's all it was.
Sue, challenge.
Hesitation?
Yeah, I think there was hesitation, yes. He was searching for the sugar. And 12 seconds, the best sandwich with you, Sue, starting now.
Surely tuna mayonnaise, ethically fished without the use of machine guns, thereby avoiding dolphins.
Neil, challenge.
Are we talking about ethically fished mayonnaise here?
No, ethically fished tuna.
Yeah. Yes, well, it would seem to be tuna mayonnaise ethically fished.
I think you're struggling a bit too hard, actually. But we enjoyed it.
You don't know what's underneath the table, do you?
When was it you last did this show, Neil?
1903. And Nicholas was celebrating his centenary then.
He's working so hard. Give him a bonus point. But you were interrupted, Sue, so you get a point for that. 5 seconds still, the best sandwich starting now.
I do love a railway sandwich, lovingly cosseted in the arms of a disgruntled worker in a small shop.
Sue Perkins was then speaking as the whistle went and gained that extra point for doing so, and she's now taken the lead ahead of Paul Merton, and then it's Neil Malarkey and Tony Hawks in that order. Paul, take the next round, please. Yeah. It's the King of the Jungle. Tell us something about that subject in this game, starting now.
It's a sentence that refers to status. The King of the Jungle is often thought of as being the lion, the most powerful creature on the African plain. Or is it perhaps the elephant? Tall, grey, austere, mouthful of ivory, looks like a piano. You can think to yourself that the giraffe is tall, dominates the land.
Sue, challenge.
Repetition of tall.
Yes, he did say tall.
Did I say tall?
Yes.
Tall elephant.
Tall elephants.
Elephant, yeah.
Tall elephants and taller giraffes. 43 seconds, Sue, with you. The King of the Jungle starting now.
In this game, the King of the Jungle is doubtless Nicholas Parsons, the silver fox who sits between us and straddles this show like the colossus of entertainment that he so rightfully is.
Paul.
There's no need to take the piss about it. I mean, we're all trying to make it work. We're trying to make it work. Aren't we, Nicholas?
After 40 years, I'm still trying, yes. Paul, I normally give bonus points for people who get huge laughs like that. But I don't know whether I should. I'll show you how generous I am. Because they did enjoy your interruption.
Yeah.
I didn't, but the audience did.
You could say they endorsed it.
Yeah. But anyway, no, you have a bonus point for that, because it was a good joke. But Sue, you have a point because you were interrupted. Keep the subject, the King of the Jungle. Let me tell you, 34 seconds starting now.
Just before the show, he beats his chest in a form of jungle ritual with which to get himself prepared for the rigours of the hours ahead. There he sits grasping Charlotte in his perfectly manicured claws while she struggles to get away, calculator in hand. Don't know why she's got a calculator. She's not...
It's all true.
Yeah, but she hasn't got a calculator, which is why Neil can't.
The calculator was repeated.
It was repeated, yes, and it isn't a stopwatch in her hand. It was lovely stuff, Sue. Right, Neil, a correct challenge. 6 seconds. The king of the jungle, starting now.
The king of the jungle, of course, is the lion with its beautiful...
Paul Challenge.
I've said all this.
I know you have.
I said exactly that. The king of the jungle is, of course, I've said all that.
I know you have, but you see...
Deja vu.
You have been playing
It's
the
your
game for,
greatest hits.
I think it's 12 or 14 years, but you know, you can repeat what other people have said. It's not exactly a ploy that people use often, but you're nothing against it.
Well, I just thought it was outrageous to use not using his own words, that's all.
Well, he didn't. He used your words.
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
What happens? I go home tonight and I find he's there.
Yes.
Being me.
I'll be lying in your hotel room.
I withdraw my challenge.
Neil, an incorrect challenge, so you still have the subject, you have a point, of course. 12 seconds, the king of the jungle, starting now.
Or should it be the tall elephant? Or the loquacious giraffe, shoved like a puppy?
Neil, Paul Challenge.
Deviation. He didn't say tall giraffe.
But he didn't establish he was going to use your words word for word.
Well, he had up to that point.
I know he had up to that, but it's just a minute, so he didn't want to repeat it.
Well,
so,
it's deviation. He's not repeating me.
We give you a bonus point because we enjoyed what you said, Paul.
We're going to give him the benefit of the doubt.
No. And no benefits, it's definite. He was interrupted.
Oh, really?
So you got your bonus point,
Oh, okay.
but Neil gets the point because he was interrupted.
Yeah.
Keeps the subject.
Yeah.
6 seconds, the king of the jungle, Neil, starting now.
The king...
Who, John, Paul?
Hesitation. I hate to do it.
You hate to do it, but you've done it. You've given him another point. I know. 5 seconds, the king of the jungle, Neil, starting now.
The king of the jungle is Nicholas Parsons with a calculator.
That's exactly what I said! It's nothing sacred! Go on, say calculator. Yes, I said calculator.
Have we booked a personality or an automaton?
We've booked someone who's got a very subtle new way of playing the game, but I think if you do this all the time... Yeah, you found a loophole, yes. You have another point. You have 3 seconds still. The king of the jungle, starting now.
The king of the jungle...
Paul Challenge.
Well, he's got to do something wrong, hasn't he? I mean...
This is like Groundhog Day. Tonight I will go to sleep and it'll be the king of the jungle. The king of the jungle.
And Neil, another point to you, and 1 second to go still. The king of the jungle, starting now.
The jungle is a beautiful place.
Well, Neil Malarkey, as you realise, gained a large number of points in that round and has really leapt forward. Oh, no, Tony, it's your turn to begin, and the subject now is tickled pink. Tell us something about that subject in this game, starting now.
I'm tickled pink to have got this subject. A little disappointed it's not King of the Jungle, but there you go. I'm not normally this pink, but before we came out this evening, Nicholas tickled me this colour. Quite an exciting thing to watch if you had tickets, which none of you did. I am...
Paul Challenge.
I had tickets and it was rather boring. Wasted £40.
What were your tickets for?
For you tickling him.
Yeah. No, there were no tickets issued for that.
I had
He just said he had one.
I had a comp.
There weren't any comps. It wasn't, actually. It was a fiction anyway.
Oh, well, really?
Yes.
I thought I'd missed out on something.
I hope it was. Because I don't remember any tickling going on.
That's not a guarantee of anything, is it?
Oh, that's why I love working with you. Because I throw them out and you come back with bigger and better ones all the time, right? Give him a bonus point. He's lovely. Tony, you got a point because you were interrupted. Tickled Pink is still with you. 42 seconds, starting now.
I was tickled pink to be asked to do this show at the Theatre Royal because Brighton is my hometown. Born and raised here, went to Brighton Hove and Sussex Grammar School, did...
Neil challenged.
Did he say Brighton twice?
He did say yes.
I said
yes, let's change the rules, especially. Let's change the rules.
If you say Brighton, that's okay. How about that?
I said down here, I was tickled pink to do this show down here at the Theatre Royal.
At the Theatre Royal. You didn't say Brighton.
No. Well, you've changed your tune.
No, you didn't. Said Brighton twice.
Theatre Royal in Brighton.
You wait, you play it back when you get home.
You said the Theatre Royal in Brighton, didn't you?
I didn't say in Brighton, I said the Theatre Royal.
What did he say? Did he say Brighton twice? I think the benefit of the doubt goes to Neil Malarkey. Tickled Pink,
well done.
31 seconds, starting now.
Buying tickets for the Tony Tickles Nicholas Parsons show this morning. I was delighted how cheap they were. A mere £40, comp 5-5. You don't need a comp to watch...
Tony challenge.
Repetition of 5.
Yes. Tony,
There
you've got
comes
it
the
back
mayor.
and you've got more points and you've got another 22 seconds to tell us something about Tickled Pink starting now.
There are a few people I would like to be tickled pink by. I have a list up in my dressing room, should anyone wish to come back after the show and read it. They could have a go at tickling me, should they so wish. That...
Neil challenge.
Should.
Should?
Yes,
Yes, you did say should, yes.
Yeah.
You repeated should. So you're listening very sharply now, Neil.
Yeah, exactly.
And you've got 10 seconds. Tell us something about Tickled Pink starting now.
Tickled Pink is what a snooker player might say. As he sees that ball on the table, it goes into the pocket. Ha-ha!
Paul challenge.
Repetition of ha.
Yeah, this is what happens with
I put a
those...
hyphen between them. So it's because
It doesn't matter.
Well, I've broken that.
No. Paul, the correct challenge. You have Tickled Pink and you have 2 seconds. Oh, you've got in just before the whistle, starting now.
I like to make lobster laugh, and the best way of doing it is tickling...
So Paul Merton was speaking as the whistle gained that extra point. He's now in second place, 1 point behind Neil Malarkey, and just ahead of Stu Perkins and Tony Hawks in that order. And Neil, we'd like you to take the next round. The subject is My Holiday Romance. 60 seconds starting now.
It was Salt Dean, 1989. She was a sophisticate, I was a mere innocence. Ah, la, la, wa.
Paul Chant.
Well, it's a deviation. He said mere innocence. He should have said mere innocence.
Innocent, that's
Innocent,
right.
yeah.
Deviation from
Yes.
language or
Languages
grammar
spoken,
or
yes,
whatever you
yes.
want to say, yes.
Sorry, she was a sophisticate from Saltdean.
We met in Salt Dean.
That means she had her own teeth.
So, Paul, you have the subject, another point, and 53 seconds. My Holiday Romance starting now.
My first holiday romance, I remember it so well. Butlins holiday camp somewhere near Bognor Regis. There was this young girl riding a donkey. There hasn't been a day gone by I haven't thought of that donkey. I was so... It's true.
Unfortunately, to get the laugh, you had to repeat the word donkey, didn't
Well,
you?
it's not the
It
only
was
thing I
worth it
repeated
for the
about
laugh.
donkey.
It was worth it for the laugh.
Once you've had donkey, though,
And
you can't
Tony,
help.
you challenge first. What is
Yes,
your-
I think there was the slightest repetition of donkey.
Donkey, yes. So you have 43 seconds. My Holiday Romance starting now.
Many years ago, I went to a South Sea island a long way away, met a beautiful, exotic, native girl, and we struck up a beautiful romance.
Stu challenged.
Was that repetition of girl? Met a girl and then a lovely native girl.
Native girl, yes, and
Yeah.
girl. Yes, right. Well, listen, Sue. You have 35 seconds. My Holiday Romance starting now.
I used to come to Brighton because I lived in Croydon. I don't know if any of you have ever heard this story, but my family used to take us down. It took 40 minutes and my dad would wake us at 5 in the morning, at which point we would arrive on the sunny shores of Brighton at Court. Oh, Brighton!
Yes. Well, of course, some people here would say you can't mention it too often. But, Tony, you challenge first. 20 seconds. My Holiday Romance starting now.
And I shall continue this exciting story set...
to Paul challenge.
You may continue it, but it's certainly not exciting. Deviation, I mean, it's just boring, isn't it? Nothing's remotely exciting about that.
Well, he was interrupting, I'm afraid.
Oh, was he?
I don't think your interruption was enough to justify
No,
another
you're
bonus
right,
point.
no. I wasn't really looking for a point, I was just expressing a deeply held opinion.
All right, give him a bonus. 17 seconds, Tony. My Holiday Romance starting now.
Finally, she took me in her arms and said the only 4 words she knew in English. Please leave me alone. My heart was cut in two.
Paul challenge.
Well, he said this was going to be exciting. And it hasn't been exciting, so it's deviation. Please leave me alone is not something Alfred Hitchcock's going to go, well, I'm going to sign that up.
I think the audience are on the edge of their seats, Alfred.
Yes, they're getting their coats.
What kind of English lessons did she have?
Listen, it's very difficult to be fair on this one, but I do think that Tony was obviously excited up to that point.
Yeah.
I know, I'm sitting next to him.
And you've actually made the audience laugh twice with your interruptions.
Yeah.
So we give you, which I think the fair thing to do, a bonus point for interruptions. But the benefit of the doubt to Tony, and you've got still 5 seconds to tell us more about, but try to make it exciting if you can.
There's a challenge. 5 seconds. See if you can make it exciting in 5 seconds.
My holiday romance, starting now.
Then we saw this donkey on the beach. Boy, did things start to happen then. She jumped on the bank.
So Tony Hawk, speaking of the whistle, when gained that extra point, he's leapt forward because he was trailing a little before. He's just ahead of Sue Perkins. He's 1 ahead of Neil Malarkey, and he's 2 behind Paul Merton. As we press on with Sue to begin, and the subject, one of my favourite things, apple pie. Tell us something about apple pie in this game, starting now.
It's made with sweet short-crust pastry, which should be baked blind, by which I mean put a tea cloth over your eyes and shove it in the oven. Beware the flame, however, because when your ocular bits have been covered, you'll find it somewhat distressing, as the visuals will be blurred or forever masked. Eventually, after some time has passed, remove said platter from the heating device, and you will see there a perfect crust that has formed. Add to this some semi-sweated Bramley apples. English are the finest, but you won't find them in a supermarket. Perhaps wander around Devon and you might come across a couple there, all basted their own natural juices. This is time to add custard, the best and most perfect ingredient of all. Some people shove in raisins. I say tosh. Never put an apple with a raisin. It is disgusting. It is against nature, God, and Gordon Ramsay. This quintessential dish must be allowed to breathe freely. Just the presence of the fine English orchards, the water, the baked blind stuff, all there, ready and waiting to be served to a happy family.
Well, a tremendous round of applause because Sue started with the subject and finished with it in spite of a little bit of indulgence from the panel, but they let it go because you were going in such full flood and so magnificently. I also let it go and you went for 68 seconds. And it was only because you were going rather purple in the face that I stopped it then.
Yes, it's all those raisins.
Yes, but you're still in 4th place, I'm afraid.
Oh, good.
But you're right up there with the others. But
in 4th.
You get no.
Why, are they in 4th as well?
No. You're only 1 point behind Neil and 2 points behind Tony and 3 points behind Paul. So that's the situation. But you get a point for speaking as a whistle went, and you get a bonus point because you're not interrupted. That's why you've leapt forward
to 4th. From 4th. But it was a massive leap forth that I made in order to come last.
But it was the contribution that you brought to the show for which we love you. And,
I missed that. Could you do it again, Sue?
Oh, it's the final round with Paul Merton. The subject is the future of radio. Paul, 60 seconds as usual, starting now.
For my money, the future of radio could be listening to Sue Perkins describing the most perfect apple pie. And if you listen to digital radio, there's a chance that you will hear that again at some point in the future. I think that it is beautiful to be able to hear these old shows from long ago. Nicholas once appeared in a show called Much Binding in the Marsh, made in the 1940s, and it is with great joy that some of those recordings are still played across the airwaves, and we can sit back and laugh at all those marvellous references to Lord Hoare, the man who was a traitor. I would think that perhaps my favourite radio show would be...
Yes?
Repetition of show.
Yes, because it's the future of radio as the subject, and you repeated show. So, Tony, you've got in, and you got a point for a correct challenge. 23 seconds. Tell us something about the future of radio, starting now.
About 40 years, this bloke came up with an idea for a show called Just a Minute. They all said it would be the future of...
Tony Hawk's challenged.
Did I?
No.
Now that's the future of radio.
Tony, I have 4 lights in front of me, and whoever presses their buzzer first, that light comes on, and it was your light. So you obviously challenged yourself. So I have to ask you...
He's trying to get a bonus.
What was your challenge?
Well, I hesitated, clearly.
And that's perfectly true, Tony. You did hesitate, and so well listened. So you have a correct challenge, Tony. You get a point for a correct challenge, obviously. And you have 17 seconds for the future of radio starting now.
Where will the internet take us, I wonder? Will we be in the South Sea Islands with our particular girlfriends listening to Just a Minute, or will we not?
Sue challenged.
A repetition of Just a Minute.
Yes, and will we as well. Right, so 10 seconds for you, Sue, on the future of radio starting now.
The future of radio is Charlotte. As yet she is bound and mute and one cannot hear. But trust me, I have heard her backstage in the green room, and she is a woman of such decisive talent and energy that one day she will be let loose on the airwaves.
So Sue Perkins was speaking then as the whistle went, gained that extra point for doing so, and they've all given such incredible value. This is the fairest result I've seen for a very long time. Because we have...
I'm fourth, aren't I?
No. We have in second place equal Sue Perkins and Neil Malarkey, who did so incredibly well, but only 1 point ahead, equal in first place, Tony Hawks and Paul Merton. Could it be fairer? That round of applause, I'm sure, was for all four of them, and I only have to thank them for being so magnificent in this game. Paul Merton, Tony Hawks, Sue Perkins, and Neil Malarkey. I thank Charlotte Davis, who's been so sweet, taking so much flack, and blowing her whistle with such delightful charm. We thank our producer, Talusha Galani. We're indebted to Ian Messiter, who created this amazing game, and we're grateful to this lovely audience at the Theatre Royal in Brighton, who cheered us on our way magnificently, from an audience, from me, Nicholas Parsons, and from the panel. Thank you, but tune in again the next time we play Just a Minute. Yep.
It's in the current series of Just a Minute, but Nicholas and the teams will be back in the summer.